Take a moment right here, feeling like it's out gear. Driving towards the sun with a rose and a gun. Feel the wind in my hair, going nowhere I swear. Like an outlaw on the run, dangerous but it's so fun. Running, running, no. Hold on, don't let go. Running, running, no. Keep running. Told my boss that I'm done. Had no luck with my mom. Say, what will you do with your life? You know it's hard to survive. A cigar in my mouth, maybe guilty but proud. Now I'm an outlaw on the run. Dangerous but it's so fun. Running, running, no. Hold on, don't let go. Running, running, no. Keep running.
Vision.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Dominant Open. We are here on the Risen channel with myself, Visions, joined with Chibi. I'm excited. I'm hyped, my man. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing good. It's Open Dominate Week 7. We're getting inching closer towards the playoffs. And as you know, Visions, all teams make playoffs, but there are some seeding implications. You want to get into those higher seeds. You want to be able to scout your opponents out. So every game matters in Ryzen. And we're jumping straight into pick and ban. Nautilus being banned on the blue side, Tristana, and the Rammus ban being banned out for Team 7. That champion is pretty disgusting on this new patch, had some changes, can now jump, run, and stun onto you and make you feel like a fool.
That's exactly it. And well, that makes things a lot more fun for as far as maybe what we might just end up getting here. Maybe some new picks, maybe some new things. Either way, that's going to round things out fairly quickly here for us, though. Maybe we can see, as you said, the Rammus, the Shen, and the Caitlyn all taken away. The Nautilus, Tristana, and the Thresh. So lots of support bans. And well, what do we have? We have a Seraphine. First pick here for Ichirat, looking to see if they can maybe flex some picks around early.
Yeah, and you want to see red side generally in this past couple metas, in the past couple patches, really ban Seraphine out. There have to be forced to, and if they don't ban it, obviously Ichi can respond with the first pick. Seraphine, very strong, one of the best blinds in the game, in my opinion, but Team 7 can now respond with something like the Hecarim that we see, and the Rel, another very strong support pick that has been seeing some deprioritization lately in the upper leagues. I don't know, maybe she's fallen out, maybe she's more counterable, people are understanding how to play against her, but I still like the pick. It's a very strong champion. It's essentially Alistar and Leona combined, in my opinion, and just the sheer amount of tankiness she can provide. But Team 7 is going to rotate with the Jinx, who I think is, in that trinity of best AD carries, right? Tristana, Jinx, and Kai'Sa.
Yeah, absolutely up there for as far as priority, and they're going to look to get themselves that. So the Hecarim and the Jinx coming in early. We'll love to see that. Now we'll see what Ichirat is in fact looking to put together. A jungler early. I mean, they're tempting me. I feel like they might already know that I love to play my Rek'Sai. So I'm liking this already, Chibi, because this is a pick I feel like that is good into a few different junglers, and they are in fact going to lock that in. So my first game back into League of Legends, I get to see my main champ picked. I'm already happy.
And so now that you are, the main of Rek'Sai, the resident main, how do you feel it does in this jungle meta with the full clear meta? It's not as gank focused, right? Obviously, sure. Rek'Sai has the most interesting of gank paths, can get behind that top laner, can get behind the laner if possible. Those tunnels are very sneaky. How do you think it does in this current meta with all the junglers, the champions that are being picked? Is Rek'Sai a good fit, or is she, kind of weak right now?
I think she's good into specific matchups. So one, Lee Sin, great pick into that. Two, Hecarim, really good because Hecarim takes Ghost and you actually have a lot of dueling potential. So you can look to actually find some solo kills early on towards the Hecarim if you can spot him out, fighting for those crabs. You have a lot of priority when you're kind of in those little engagements. So I think that this is a champion that can find success, but you have to find a bit of an advantage early or you feel a bit useless.
Yeah, and I like what Ichirat is doing with their draft currently, right? They're kind of hiding where this Seraphine's going to go. Even the Senna can possibly be an AD carry or a fasting Senna. Both are viable. We generally see the fasting one in the higher levels of play, but I think AD carry Senna is very good, right? Can get to those big item power spikes like the Kraken Slayer, like the Rapid Fire Cannon, the Gwynsus. I mean, that's such a devastating build as we see. Ichirat pinching the mid lane pool a little bit with the Corki and Orianna, two very standard picks I think are very good. Mordekaiser and Darius being banned out. That is not a jungle pick for either of them. Those are top laners banned out for Ichi. So we're going to see how flexible these guys are. Are they taking yoga or are they stiff as a Ouija board? We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, we will have to kind of figure out what they're looking to bring into this composition. They want to bring in some AP, rightly so. So the Syndra is going to come in here for the very first pick going in towards phase 2. And now Ichirat a chance to be able to set up some counters here, kind of figure out what they want to do to round out the rest of their team composition.
Yeah, and Team 7 saving the counter pick for support, which is really smart. I like a lot of high-level teams are doing this. They want to see what is on the table, where everybody is going, and depending on the support matchup, I'm a firm believer that bottom lane is determined by the support more than the AD carry matchup, right? The 2v2, the support early game 1 through levels 1 through 6 are super important, right? It dictates what the laners can do, where they can go, early roam timings, and I expect, Team 7 support to be on the ball. This guy is a Diamond 1 level support. He's the highest rank out of all of the players currently playing in this team. So I believe he's like the brainiac, the mega mind behind this Team 7 draft and picks. And if I'm him, I'm Diamond 1. I'm saying save counterport, safe counter pick for me because I know what I can do with it.
I actually love that mentality, right? You know, one of the highest rated players on your team is likely making a lot of the shot calls and is looking to try to get involved the best he possibly can. So saving that pick to see what he wants to play in towards this bot lane now, as we do have everything just about rounded out. The Fiora and the Cassiopeia is what's locked in last. And well, the Rakan is what comes in for the very last pick here for the game number 1, coming together for as far as our comps. And well, the Rakan, interesting, I feel like. What's your thoughts on it here, Shibby?
I think Rakan enables Team 7's comp very well, right? They have the set, they have the Hecarim, 2 champions that really want to go in, and Rakan is one of those champions that can E multiple times, you know, 2-3 different targets.
Right.
So he can E in, get the charm in, get the knockup, E out if he needs to onto the Jinx, and, you know, wait for his cooldowns to come back up. He works as both a primary engage and a follow-up or secondary engage. So the flexibility of Rakan is really what I like. We've kind of seen him being picked a bit more in the NA and EU LCS. I've seen him, you know, being used in a multitude of different ways. I think he's devastating against champions like Seraphine and Senna, low mobility kind of champions, even the Cassiopeia, right? As long as you're not face checking that ultimate, you should be fine. But some interesting champions on Itchy's side, the Rex side, the Cassiopeia, Fiora, all champions you don't really see. They didn't really get any buffs this patch either. So I want to understand, are these comfort picks, do you think, that are coming out? And where do you fall on the meta versus comfort in these kinds of amateur level, you know, coordinated play? Do you think it's better to lean towards the meta, or do you say pick for comfort and, you know, I want to play what I'm good at because I think I'll have a better chance of winning?
I mean, I think I've always been an advocate, no matter the esport, of picking what is comfortable, you know, what you're willing to kind of play and feel good about. And if you're going to do it in a game number 1 in a best of 3, I feel like that's the best time to do it, right? When you're picking some of these niche picks that maybe aren't as popular or aren't necessarily the best in the meta, it gives you a chance to surprise your opponents. And I think that's a lot of what maybe can happen in towards leagues like this, where you're playing against, you know, some of these platinum and kind of high diamond players where you can maybe surprise them with some of these picks that you have practiced up. So I feel like the Rex side, for example, is just great to kind of add in towards the very first map, because if you win it, well, what they might take away going in towards the second phase here, going in towards game number 2, might be that Rex size. So I like the idea of just toying with the fact that they do have a different kind of team composition. They have some scaling power with the Senna, with the Seraphine, but it is very crucial that some of these solo lanes, I think, really do find a bit of a lead going in towards this game, because this composition, this death ball composition for Team 7, I mean, if they get a lead and they start running it down as 5, that is a very scary comp to run into as 5, especially when you got that Jinx protected by all this front line with the set, the Hecarim, the Rakan. So it can be problematic for them if they do fall behind early.
Yeah, and I'm thinking Team 7's game plan is to start stacking dragons early, right? You mentioned the scaling on the
Right.
side of Ichirat and Cassiopeia Senna, not the best champions to start fighting these, you know, 5 to 6 minute dragons. You want
That's
to wait for
right.
them to hit their 1, 2, you know, 2 item power specs, right? Senna getting the Kraken Slayer and the Gwynsos, and Cassiopeia probably getting, you know, most likely building the Leandries. Will probably go into a tier as well sometime here and finish her Archangel. So she really needs to get those items stacking. I think mage items are in a bit of a weird spot right now, to where, you know, Cassiopeia generally seen as a very good scaling pick for sure, but I think her items are very expensive. She got her item route very limited with the mythic changes that happened, right? Because before
Sure.
she could build Leandries into Morello, into all these cool things, and now she's only gated to either Ludens, either Leandries, or, you know, something else that may be new but doesn't work for her. So it's a very interesting pick in this meta. But if they can draw this one out, I think Itchy has the edge. But they have to be wary of these early dragon stacking and early herald rotation. So I think Team 7 has to put their pedal to the metal in this early game, push the pace, and make Ichirat uncomfortable taking these fights, and just force them into like a 22-minute dragon where, you know, they'll
Right.
have the level lead, they'll have the item lead, and where Ichirat is super uncomfortable taking these fights.
Well, we'll have to find out. Both these teams, 2 and 4, week number 7 here for Open Dominate. We've got a couple weeks left in the season, but both these teams being at 2 and 4 with another 4 teams on top of that being at 2 and 4 means that this win is crucial. And well, ladies and gentlemen, we have to find out who takes it, because this very first game about to come up here for it. But before we get into it, we got to get through the spectate delay. So we're going to throw things to a short little break. Get set up for that game number 1. Don't go too far. We'll be back after the break. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Open Dominant as we get ourselves right back in towards the action. Very first game on our hands, and well, it's going to be an absolute banger. Team 7 up against Ichirat to see who, in fact, will be able to get the best of who will hold the head-to-head, and who will be able to break the 2-4 curse that currently is in the standings in the league.
Yeah, and just standard 5-point defense coming out from a lot of these teams. Nobody willing to roll the dice or a burger flip and invade right here. I think, if Team 7 were to invade, I would say they have the advantage just because they have the Rakan W. If he starts it, they have, the set pull they can do. They have a lot of ways to CC. And I think the Ichirat 5-point defense is effective in stuffing anything out. Gonna see if any of these junglers drop a ward and then swap to the Oracle lens. That's usually what a lot of players do, and the supports as well. They'll go for that bush cheese down in the bottom lane, but it looks like they're just trying to make sure that both these junglers don't get invaded on. Oh, make sure you see little Sejong possibly dropping a ward. They know it's there, so we'll see what Awesome Guy can do to circumvent that vision, right? Maybe he goes all the way around, tunnels around, or something like that. But it looks like both of these junglers are going to be starting on their bot side, getting a leash, so they will meet at this top Scuttle Crab, and we'll see what happens, because a lot of fun happens at those Scuttle Crabs, doesn't it?
Yeah, it definitely does. We see those full clears come through, and well, everyone wants to make sure they get their hands on towards a crab here. So very much something that we're going to keep our eyes on, and likely the junglers too. As it's going to be both junglers starting on the same side. Now, we talked a bit about this matchup coming in here, Shibby, where we said, all right, Rek'Sai, a bit of an unorthodox pick, and you have to find some success early because this champion, when you get late game, well, she doesn't exactly do anything if she's not ahead because you almost have to be able to one-shot people. So if you can't, then you feel a little bit useless here. So I have a lot of attention on Awesome Guy to see what his pathing is going to look like early on.
Yeah, and really, we're going to see this Hecarim probably go for either the 5 camp into the Scuttle or the 6 camp and be late to top Scuttle. I feel like Rek'Sai's also going for a similar full clear, and I just feel like Hecarim does that better, right? You can just see where the pathing is happening right now. Hecarim's almost done with this camp. He's going to be pathing over to the top side, and Rek'Sai is still pathing and still hitting her Raptor, so he's going to be a little bit quicker, a little bit faster as some trading's happening in the bot lane. Very aggressive.
Very, very aggressive here. We'll see if there's maybe is going to be a kill. It is going to be some summoners forced out pretty early on. So we see the heal, and well, you can also see just how oppressive the Seraphine Senna is because they just deal quite a bit of damage, quite a bit of poke, as well as actually keep themselves well sustained.
Yeah, and you got to feel that, Jinx and Rakan shouldn't be really losing this lane. I guess it's the ranged melee matchup. Going in for Seraphine into the Rakan is going to be really difficult. It doesn't matter the skill gap between these two. I mean, champions are champions, and if one is just outright better than the other, you can learn to abuse that and maybe get the edge there. But you gotta feel that Bunsky asked for this lane. They saved the Rakan counter pick, so maybe this is not an in-lane pick. It's more of a team fight, early skirmish kind of champion, which I think is really phenomenal in these kind of early 10 to 15-minute skirmishes.
Top lane, something might just end up going down. There is a well-placed ward, so the pings come through, and you can see the channel of the recall. So not going to try to force anything by any means, and this also is going to relieve a lot of pressure on the Fiora. She knows that there has, in fact, been a base, so she's able to go all in. Maybe a first blood, but responding with the damage. There is the first blood. Silver Blood gets away with the gold.
Yeah, Silverblood eking that one out, getting a little bit of help from those caster minions. Very good from him. He was mind controlling them. The teleport's gonna come out. But what we didn't notice is little Sejong full cleared and didn't go for any of the scuttles, not the top or the bottom one. Would have loved to see him flex his jungle prowess, his champion, because he definitely does, I believe, have the objective to play champion. I'm not able to speak.
Oh, this looks good. Free kill picked up. The TP is, in fact, going to try and come through to see if they can turn things around, but going all in on the tower might just result in another kill. There is the double. The Hecarim collects it. We'll see Driblet try and press forward, but he can't bring home the kill, so he will, in fact, be taken down from Random Capitals as all the action unfolds down and towards the bot lane.
Just as we were talking about that early skirmish power that Rakan has, you just saw the ability of him to get in and out, weave himself. Oh, man, is this okay? Just calming myself down a little bit, but, weave in and out with the CC, with the heals, and just be able to turn these fights down. Excellent roam on Random Capital, and, woo. Okay. And you're teasing me over there, Silverflower. You're teasing all of us. But, good roam by Syndra and Hecarim. Now that Hecarim's 2-0, Syndra's got to kill it in her back pocket. So now we're going to see how can Team 7 push the pace of this game. How can they force IR onto their pacing and force them into an uncomfortable position?
quickly trading in towards the mid lane. Random Capitals coming off of the kill, but mid lane engage doesn't exactly land. The Hecarim will follow it up, so a lot of damage, but Triplet makes it out. So 3 players come to say hello, but he's able to escape just with a sliver of HP. But top lane, big engage, nice repose. I mean, it looked like an RKO for a second, but the W says no, and well, we'll see the Fiora walk herself out.
Yeah, couldn't get the slam gem onto Fiora. Beautiful play, but it just feels like Silverclub is getting the best of these trades, right? Set is just really dominant in these early trades, can take on these very, high risk and low health trades because of his innate passive, allowing him to heal up. It's just infinitely better than Garen's. His health regen increases by so much, and Fiora doesn't have much lifesteal right now. She has to build towards that Vamp Scepter or something similar before she can start taking these trades, because she can't heal off minions. She's going to keep getting backed off, and the CS lead is now 20 up for Silverclub. That's a pretty substantial one.
Oh, again, Driblet, he is just soaking up all the attention, isn't he? So far, it's just been all about trying to see if you can maybe make some pressure happen around this Cassiopeia with no flash and pretty low movement speed so far in towards the game. So they'll try to put a lot of attention onto it. And Awesome Guy finally looking to maybe create some pressure on towards the map. And I mean, we already emphasized pretty heavily about how this Rek'Sai needs to try and find some success, and so far it's really just been the Hecarim has been able to create some plays 2-0, but here comes the teleport. We'll see if they can walk themselves out. A very well placed E will be able to stop that Syndra right in her tracks, so nothing will come of the TP.
I respect the move from Random Capital, They see that he's pushed in, he can burn the TP, has a little bit of a slight lead in the mid lane with CS and assist gold, so I don't mind burning that just to apply some pressure, right? It feels like, Kina and Yoshiko have been getting the better hand on the push onto bot lane Party Time and Bunting. They've just been getting punished, or haven't been getting punished, other than that first roam that happened from both Hecarim and Syndra. And you mentioned Awesome Guy, and I want to harp on him a little bit, right? He's got this rated third, as maybe I'm not allowed to speak.
And maybe there's an all-in. Jinx gonna be knocked up here. The damage follows. That's gonna be a flash away. Still very low targets. The Hecarim says hello. The onslaught of shadows comes on in, but there's a trade. Can they get Yoshiko? But he looks like he might be able to walk himself out. So a 1-for-1 best case scenario. Kina coming away with a trade.
Yeah, and this Hecarim, he's just showing the dominant. Oh, as a flash comes in, unleash the power. Oh.
A lot of damage coming through. It's Random Capitals able to find the kill. There should, however, be a trade. Awesome Guy able to bring home a 1-for-1. So we get another trade taking place just moments apart.
Man, the action is unstoppable in this open dominate league. But as I was just about to say, Awesome Guy should be looking to get a kill on the map. He's 0-0-0. I don't get to cast or curse him. He's 1-0 now, but I think we just see Little Sejong flexing the power of this pick. And there's a reason this Hecarim is such a dominant pick in the meta right now. It's just able to be, one step ahead of Rek'Sai, it feels. He's able to be on the map. His ultimate is faster. He's just a faster champion in general, and he's just able to clear faster. So we're going to see kind of that CS lead balloon a little bit. I mean, it is only 62-60, so it's a 1 camp lead right now. But just the ganks that this man has been able to get off, his timing is really good.
Things will stabilize for a moment. We see about a 1k gold lead, and while trading is not going to stop, Silverclub is still going to hold that advantage over top of his counterpart, sitting pretty up and towards the top lane, building up a CS over that Fiora as well. That's what you want to see. Do not want that Fiora popping off. That's going to cause a bit of havoc on towards the side lane. It's a pretty big level discrepancy, though, down in towards the bottom. You can see level 6 is available. The Encore could come out at any given moment, followed by that Dawning Shadow and all the healing. I mean, you can just see how oppressive it is. And even the Jinx starting to fall drastically behind and towards that CS, almost 30 down at this point in the game.
Yeah, and this is the 80 carry center that we were talking about, getting a lot of that gold. And I think the reason for this EXP is just because of all this attention in the bot lane, right?
Oh, that's a flash. That was playing and toying with your life there for a moment, but Yoshiko to be able to at least escape and make sure it's not another kill stacked up on the Syndra.
And we want to harp on the EXP lead just because it's, Hecarim has been down here, Syndra has been down here. You definitely know that they're going to take some of these minions as attacks for their time, and that's kind of showing in the bot lane right now, whereas Senna and Seraphine have just had the minions to themselves, right? They've only been splitting XP amongst 2 people, so this is one of those unintended consequences. I don't think you're complaining if you're bot lane Party Time and Bunsky, but you're definitely feeling a pain a little bit.
Certainly are feeling it a bit. And Bunsky, we talked about this player as well being really probably one of the leaders you feel like for the squad. I mean, we don't necessarily know for sure, but just with the way that he plays on towards a lot of these games here, being the highest elo player at about Diamond 1 and just a lot of roaming champs in general. You have to imagine he's probably plays a pretty big voice for as far as this squad, but we will see the shove come through. They're now able to breathe a little bit and start to move in, maybe clear out some of this vision. Meanwhile, these dragons, we said that either team wanting to get their hands on them here, but with the late scaling coming in here from champions like Senna and Cassiopeia, and well, a great timing for as far as the roam, this means that we will in fact get our first dragon taken away, and it's an Inferno.
Yeah, and you'd love to see this taken just a little bit sooner, right? Now this next Dragon Soul, the Dragon Soul will be at the 25-minute mark, so it's delayed just by a bit. You know, you can take the Dragon at 6 to 7 minutes if they would have got that roam off and then just gone straight to the Dragon. I would have, you know, been approved of that, but I'm not necessarily denying that this is a bad or good Dragon. I think, you know, regardless of when you take it, you're pushing the pace of this game, and definitely Dribblet is not where he wants to be. Kina, on the other hand, is pretty close, as we see a shadows.
Ran entrance right into the quickness, followed by the onslaught of shadows. Call it a wombo combo, call whatever you want, because this bot lane is dead, but maybe not both. We'll see if Rek'Sai can get here in time, and well, that is the case. So able to at least make sure it is not a double kill, but still another play being set up and able to relieve a bit of this pressure in the bot lane.
Yeah, it feels like top lane is just an island. You know, Lil Sejong is just rotating mid and top like he's rotating his camps. He's just looking at the champions like, oh, there's another camp down here that I can kill, or maybe there's a camp in the mid lane I can kill. You know, I think he's doing a really good job, you know, going into this camp thing. It's a Swifty build, is able to get onto the map really fast, get onto these characters. And as I say, top lane's an island, I get proven wrong. Dribblet is coming up.
Yeah, Dribblet says, all right, enough of mid lane. Time to go say hello up top. And well, Petrifying Gaze is perfect. Grand Challenge comes out for the healing on top of it, and that is at least going to be a nice counterplay on the map to make sure this goal lead does not get out of hand early.
Yeah, and this just helps to relieve some of that pressure that Riker was feeling, right? He's 30 CS down still, a kill, you know, about half a kill down now with the assist that he has. So Silverpleb is going to be a little bit disappointed. Oh, as we see just a little bit of love in the mid lane from Awesome Guy. Just popping his head saying hello, saying you can't kill my solo laner just yet. But Bunsky up in the top lane, level 7. Man, this guy is everywhere.
Yeah, this is what we expected, right? Moving around the map, especially with your jungler. I mean, the fact that you have a 3-0 Hecarim already having this power spike here with the Turbo Chem Tank, I mean, this is really where the Hecarim is going to thrive. And if you can keep that support in and around, then it's great. Bot lane, however, 80 carries, looking to get a little mixy. Shots back and forth will be exchanged. Have to watch that Mega Death Rocket. It's going to be coming up very, very soon. And if no healing follows, that very likely could be a kill.
Yeah, and Senna burned her ultimate earlier on to that top lane, so Jinx potentially has the ability to 1v1 this Senna. Senna with the barrier, Jinx with the heal, as we see unleash the power. Oh, he's going in.
Oh, definitely. Oh, Dribblet. Can't catch a break. It feels like his flash has been on cooldown the whole game because of the amount of focus in and around the mid lane.
Visions, he has a flash. I don't remember seeing it off cooldown at all. Like, it's literally just, once it's done, it's gone. It's been black grayed out for all the time as we see some more action in the bot lane grand entrance.
Oh, that's going to be able to knock up the center, but with the barrier, they don't have the damage to follow. The Mega Death Rocket does get him low, but Kina able to just barely survive there after the ultimate comes through mid lane. Trying to get away, Dribblet. Can't catch a break. Petrifying Gaze misses on top of it. He should be able to be run down. He is Silver Pleb. He collects kill number 2 of this game 1.
Yeah, random capital flashing there, trying to kill secure it. Not kill steal it, guys. Trust me, it's a team game, I promise you. But a little bit of a blunder there. But yeah, like you said, Dribblet not being able to catch a break. Staying fairly competitive in this mid lane, going for the interesting Everfrost build. So I don't mind this build, but I think that, you know, it's not a very scaling heavy kind of pick. It's more to be more utility focused. I think he understands that he's, you know, getting focused in the mid lane a lot. So just being able to stuff out some of the Hecarim engage or maybe the Rakan engage with that root is more helpful to his team than getting that Leandries. And, you know, not too many tanks on the enemy team, so I don't mind this item choice right there.
Oh, could see a play up top. There's the flash. Mercuriano just, you can feel the pressure. I mean, he's been down. He's been feeling it. He's gotten a bit of assistance here from his mid laner, but here's the Hecarim again. Looking for Kina. Does not have that flash up or the barrier. They're going to follow it up. A beautiful grand entrance. The shielding and healing quite a lot, but not enough to get you through all the damage from the Hecarim as well as the bot lane. So they will get away with another kill.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel like this bot lane can do anything about it. I know from the spectator's point of view, it looks like they're feeding, looks like they're overextended. But oh, wait a minute. Oh, that's a solo kill onto the top lane. Silverpath just dunks him.
Makes it look easy too, and then it's obviously terrible that you're getting solo kill, but on top of it, it's all this experience you're losing as well, right? Where these waves have just been eaten up from the tower now on a couple of occasions, and you've been denying so much. So we're seeing Silverflab really take control of this game and build and extend this lead even further, snowballing the best they possibly can. Now looking at what is a pretty nice goal lead, if I don't say so myself. They've been able to create a nice advantage pretty early in towards this game, and now it does appear they're going to set up for the second dragon.
Yeah, and Cloud Soul is probably going to be Mountain, or Dragon Soul is probably going to be either Mountain Soul or Cloud Soul, as we see just on cooldown this man is using this Ganon entrance.
Sure is, but this time not really going to find too much favor. Syndra there to follow, but Random Capital's not able to really land any Scatter of the Weak, so these will maybe.
What are you doing there?
And off cooldown, really utilizing whatever they possibly can, but the TP will come through. The Dawning Shadow will follow. Match TPs as it's going to be Silverpleb looking for the play. He flashes in. He's looking for the Seraphine. Yoshikino looking low, and there is the kill from the Jinx. One is down, but not too much to follow as they can't dive, they can't pressure, but with the wave stacking, they could look to go again in a moment.
Yeah, that's a lot of resources burned on the side of Team 7, but well worth it. Getting this Jinx a little bit farther ahead if he can. Down in CS, but up in kills right now and assists. Mid lane's going to be pushing from Driblet, but I wanted to go back to the point visions where, you know, it feels as if, you know, IR Ichirat is just getting targeted in this bot lane and they can't do anything about it, and they truly can't. They had wards in the river, in the Tribush, but this Hecarim so fast with the Ghost, with the Chem Tank, that even if you have wards, even if you can see him, he is inevitable. He is Thanos. You cannot do anything about it. He will come to your bot lane and gank you, and it's just such a bad feeling when you pick these kind of scaling compositions, and you are just getting punished for it right now with this Rakan, with this Hecarim. They're just able to dive you. They're able to, you know, attack you even on the slightest of mispositions, it seems.
Just extremely proactive, and the ability to be proactive with a Hecarim and Rakan, well, results in the scoreline that we currently see. 4-11 with a nice gold lead here, built up to about 4,000. So yeah, you're feeling pretty good, and Awesome Guy hasn't been able to match too much. It feels like Rakan has actually been able to gank more than the Rek'Sai, and this is going to result in another kill potentially, but no, that's a nice outplay. So able to escape. Make sure you get out with your life. And meanwhile, that first tower has now dropped here, but they'll look for the Jinx. Bot lane party time. Not a party for Jinx here, as that is another kill. This one picks up here from Awesome Guy.
And the shutdown going on awesome Guy. You'd love to see it go into Driblet. I think that's where the goal should be headed, in my opinion. But, you know, you got to be feeling good if you're the jungler. He's 2-0 now. Still behind the Hecarim, but getting some of that gold back is helpful to get that one-shot potential, right? Because really, the composition that IR has, it's we're going to jump on one person and we're going to try to kill you as fast as possible. In this case, it's the Jinx, but I feel like they're not really weathered or ready for these 5v5 team fights. You mentioned the death ball composition that T7 has in the Champs League. It is really coming into fruition, right? You saw what all 5 members could do when they TP'd down to that bot lane, and Bucky just playing an immense role, right? I feel like he's the second jungler.
Yeah, it literally does. Like, he has been ganking just ever so often, and you also hit on it earlier as well. It feels like whenever his quickness is up, he's making a play, looking to be proactive, at least force out a summoner, just creating pressure, whether it results in a kill or not. You love to see that out of Bunsky, and with the Rift Heralds going over, that maybe means that we could just get it dropped right in towards the mid lane here, to be able to crack open the middle of the map, create even more pressure and more priority in and around the mid lane.
Yeah, and you want to see Team 7 pick the pace up, right? You don't want this game to slow down. You don't want it to hit a lull state. You want to start cracking turrets open, taking vision, and just the only waiting that they should be doing is either waiting to kill somebody or waiting for an objective. As I speak, the engage comes in on to Random Capital.
Oh, they do get him. The Void Rush comes through in towards the end, so it brings home a kill, but it might just be a 1-for-1. Bunsky goes forward. Does the damage come out? One more auto from Bot Lane Party Time. He flashes forward, but the crits do not come through. That is going to be the Hecarim ultimate, able to find one, but it's locking up the Jinx. A double kill comes through. The healing is too much, and a big response from Ichirat in the middle lane results for a 3-for-0.
And the 4K gold lead we saw, now that gold lead's only about 900. IR is coming in and redeeming all these kills, getting these shutdowns. It just feels like Team 7 is playing recklessly. I did say push the pace, guys, but I didn't say push the pace to your death. I said push the pace, go wait for a kill or wait for Dragon. Don't die here. Dragon's coming up in 46 seconds. We're going to see another fight break out. You have to see it.
Really want to take this one away right now if you're Ichirat as well. I mean, giving over what could be a sole point this early in towards the game, not great news for as far as how late this one might just end up going for us. And we can already see the vision being fought for. Yoshiko able to avoid the grand entrance, not going to take too much harass in the meantime, as everyone does get themselves back out on towards the map. Just 20 seconds away before this air dragon. Well, you can just feel it in the air right now. You know, a big fight about to unfold here very soon.
Yeah, it's coming up. 9 seconds on this dragon, but it looks like they're just vying for some vision. Team 7 does, have the inside track. They're clearing it out. They have the plants there ready, but the Scuttle Crab is taken for IR, so they're going to know when they start this and if they start it. A steal can come in easily from Awesome Guy. Smites are pretty much even, level 12 to level 11. That's only like a 40 damage smite difference, which, can make some of a difference, but at this time and this timing
there's the engage. The encore gonna follow it up here as it's the Jinx looking to try and get some resets, but Random Capital is able to find the first one of the fight in towards the back line. The Fiora is down. That is a 2-for-1 so far, losing the support, but it's gonna cost you more. There's the double. Random Capitals able to get right in, but the Q lands. The Void Rush comes on through. Awesome Guy able to get one back as he finesses, tries to tunnel out. That will be the Hecarim leaving alone, but will they come back in? It will be a 3 versus 2. Driblet waiting for his opportunity to pounce, but instead the fight comes to them. Silver Pleb looking for the kill. Awesome Guy just barely staying alive, and finally the objective will be secured as Driblet forced the turn. He's able to find the shutdown onto one. Rek'Sai right back in. The TP follows, looking for the Hecarim, who should fall as well. There it is. The Fiora stops him from pressing forward, and an unbelievable fight comes through as they're able to turn things around for a couple more kills.
700 gold shutdown going on to Dribbler. That man has a lot of money in his pocket. He's going to the bank. He's going to buy something really nice here. Finishes the Archangel Staff right off the bat, straight from the tier and the Amplifying Tome. That guy just got paid.
Lots of fighting. That is the gist of this game as the TP comes through. Grand Entrance not going to land this time around. They are starting up the Baron, but they don't exactly have anyone to truly tank it. Awesome Guy will take a lot of damage in return, but there is a lot of healing at the same time. They are going to try to do it. Random Capital's able to land a nice scatter of the week, just maybe forcing and pressuring. Can they get off of it? But here comes the engage now. That is a big knockup following it up here from the Syndra, able to get away with one, but trades right back. 1-for-1, Awesome Guy will follow, and now here comes the Jinx. Let's get excited, but can she find anything? It's a 1 versus 3. The support is no longer here, and Ichirat clean up the fight, and a triple kill comes through for Driblet.
And the star of the show right here, Dribbler got all the attention in the mid lane, looking to exact his revenge here. This is a risky Baron, though. Little Sejong is up with the smite. I don't think you take this, IR. I don't think you want to do this. Don't. Just back off, reset, get the gold. You are winning these fights right now. Don't want to flip this on a Baron. Oh, man, they're going for it. They're not listening, Visions. They're not listening.
They're not. But can they maybe find the Hecarim before they burn things down? Onslaught of Shadows able to come on through, but the Riposte comes through to make sure the kill does not follow. Can they burn it down? Oh, there is another TP. 500 HP. Driblet trying to secure it, but it's going to be now the Fiora comes on through. The Baron will regen, but no one secures the objective.
And I told him, Visions, I told him, I was preaching, I was praying to the choir. I said, don't start the Baron. And this is what happens. You pay for your life. One good play after another, and then this is what happens. You die for your sins. Lord Baroni will take his feast onto IR. But amazing play from both of these teams, neck and neck. What was once a 6,000 or 4,000 gold lead for Team 7 has shrunk down to about 1,000, and these fights are close. And really what I'm looking for here is for bot lane party time to step it up. You see this Jinx, and it feels like you should be doing a lot of damage, but she is not switching, she's not macroing or microing her rockets and miniguns. It feels like she's permanently stuck in rocket form, not able to get these resets, not able to get the attack speed off, and that's the difference maker in these fights. A lot of these guys are living with, like, slivers of HP, Visions, and they're just able to eke it out with all the healing that's coming out. And I don't think Random Capitals can carry this. As I say that, it's an amazing Sky of the Week. That guy is dead. Seraphine, you're gone.
Yeah, that is just goodbye. And that's another setup. A lot of them actually coming through in and around the Syndra, as it will be random capitals with kill number 8, large shutdown over his head, but with the man advantage on towards the map here for about 15 seconds. We are going to start to see Team 7 take control in and around the river here for themselves,
I
and
like
they're
this.
going to now stack this to see if they can get away with a free kill.
It's very sneaky deaky like as Rek'Sai is gonna come in.
There is a kill for sure. Nowhere to go. Awesome guy is down. First one of the fight is now a 40-second death timer. This is a lot of time to work in and around the Baron, and you have no smite right now if you're Richie Rat.
Yeah, but you do have Seraphine coming up with the ultimate. This is ultimately a 4v5, and we've seen Driblet pilot these fights amazingly, and they're gonna go for it.
Grand entrance, will it get the pop of the passive? The answer, no. Ricareno has been down, but the Encore does find a double knock up here, trying to see if they can keep them alive with the heals. The flash comes in, bot lane party time. Well, it's a party now. There is the reset. There is the kills. A full-on wipe comes through, and finally, Team 7, they can look for the Baron.
And they get that fight that they needed. The death ball coming in, onslaught of shadows into the grand entrance, into the sky of the week. It just feels like all this CC, you can only dodge so much, Driblet. I know you put your shoes on, your dancing shoes, but you couldn't get out. An amazing fight from Team 7, well executed, living with the sliver of HP, and now securing this banner. And we're gonna see a 5,000 gold lead coming out. Dragon is coming up in 23 seconds. That is a Cloud Soul. You have to agree that, you know, Rakan and Hecarim with a Cloud Soul. Oh my god, some speedy boys on that side.
Very, very speedy. And yeah, you don't want to give this over, but I don't really know how much of a say you really have here, because you just have such massive leads across the board now for just about every single position on the side of Team 7, and they're happily going to move in towards this dragon, take a fight if you want to. I mean, even if they were not to secure the dragon, you have to imagine they're still going to come out with the fight, and we'll see what Awesome Guy has in store for us. He has no flash. The Rakan, he's got his double, but he goes over the wall. It looks close, but not the case. Just a tad late. The dragon goes over, the soul is collected, and Awesome Guy dies once again.
Yeah, and he tried to do what he could there. I respect the attempt. I respect the play. If you die there, you don't give much other than your life, and you deny that Cloud Soul. But now it looks like Team 7 is firmly in the driver's seat and just needs to get a split going. I want to see a 1-4 split here. I want to see the set into the top or the bot lane and everybody else in the mid lane. But it looks like they're not going to listen. They're going to put Syndra in the bot lane with no TP, and they're going to run it 4 down in the mid lane. I think they have a lot of siege here with the Jinx, with the Rakan. They can threaten the dive, so this should be an easy inning for them, especially with Awesome Guy out.
He will be coming up in about 3 seconds, but have to imagine this inhibitor should go over before he's able to get here. Maybe the fight will actually unfold beforehand. Silver Pleb does go in to initiate the fight. The Seraphine is down. The knockup comes on through. They go towards the back line, where that is now a second kill. Looking good as the Jinx can look to just put out the autos. Ricareno tries to go in, but what can he do? He can't do anything. That's a 3-4-0, knocking on the base, knocking on the door, finding kills left, right, and center. And well, it might just be the ace. Hecarim says, I'll tank it up. There's the ace. And that is game number 1 locked up for Team 7.
And Team 7, a little too close for comfort in that mid game, but able to eke it out with some really well played Scout of the Weeks from random capitals, and Little Sejong hitting those amazing ultimates. I think these two were the key to that victory there. But Dribbler tried. I understand it's one man against the world, and if you were on any champion, it would be that Cassiopeia to try and do it. But Team 7 does take the game here, game 1, and Visions. Man, that was exciting. I felt like you never had any breaks.
No, I didn't feel like it either. I mean, just nonstop action, go, go, go. I mean, I'm all for the fighting, but there definitely felt like there was moments where they could have slowed things down, and they didn't. And because of that, ended up costing them, you know, a lot of the pressure on towards the map, a lot of the objectives that just ended up going over. And I think overall, when we come back towards the draft here for ourselves, we talk about this death ball composition. When they come towards that mid game, they come online, and the follow up that's here with the damage is just such a crazy match that really they couldn't handle, you know, in a lot of those fights here. So again, I like the idea of trying to bring out some new things here for us, but not enough to really find enough lead to kind of carry on through in this very first game for the side of Itchy-Rat.
Yeah. And they need to really pick champions that can, you know, bridge the gap from the scaling, right? I feel like they had scaling across the board. And unless you're very confident in your laning that you won't go down so early, you have to get like something like an early game champion. And then I get that there's a Rek'Sai in there, but that's an early game jungler. All junglers are going to be ganking in the early game, regardless of who you pick. So you need to get like either a top laner or a mid laner that kind of bridge that gap, right? Maybe
Mhm.
Cassiopeia was the right pick. I get it. I like the pick. It worked out for Driblet, but maybe that top lane, I would have loved to see something like the Gnar, maybe the Scion, even just something that can get you through that early game, give you some sort of presence in the mid game with the 1 items, 2 items, instead of just picking full scaling on the side of Ichirat. Team 7's composition was a bit more traditional. Obviously the set has been seen in the LPL in the top lane here and there, but I like that they went for a more meta build, meta composition, and it just
Mhm.
worked, right? It just worked.
It did work in the end. Well, that's the first game of the best of 3, ladies and gentlemen. But we still at least got one more game ahead of ourselves to see if, in fact, Ichirat can look to bounce back, kind of even up the odds and get us towards a game number 3. So we're going to throw things to a break. Go get your refreshments. Go get ready, because when we come back, game number 2, it's on. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Open Tournament here on Risen. It's myself, Visions, joined with Chibi as we get ourselves in towards the game number 2. One, well, it was a fiesta. I think the best way to put it, Chibi. A lot going on, a lot of fun, a lot of action, but in the end, not a whole lot of coordination coming down in towards the mid to late game, and really playing on a lot of emotion. It felt like here for both of these squads.
And Team 7 going with the standard bans, Shen, Caitlyn, Rammus, all target bans. Rammus getting a bunch of buffs, like we mentioned, if you guys are just joining us, playing on patch 11.8. And IR banning the Thresh, banning the Hecarim, banning the Seraphine on red side, something I like to see. Thresh, a pocket pick or a signature pick for Team 7's support. Bunsky has almost 300 games on that this season in this Diamond 1. So wanted to make an impact, but he's not going to get it. But he's just as effective on most of these supports, as we saw in Game 1.
That's right. I mean, it felt like he was the second jungler, simply put. He was moving around the map. He was just unbelievably making moves, it felt like, constantly on towards the game, and it had a massive effect. So we'll see if he can get on something like that again. But for now, the Volley Bear is going to come through here for us. Team 7 going to be able to also add another flex pick very early on in towards their draft.
Not the best B1 in my opinion. Visions, I don't know if I like Volibear. Would have loved to see them take the Tristana, the Rel, something else, but everybody has their different prioritizations. Everybody loves a certain champion in this game, and I guess Volibear is a prio for Team 7, but IR has the ability to get the Trist, like you mentioned, flex it into the bot lane, into the mid lane, and even sometimes, very rarely, the oh-so isolated top lane if they want to. But it looks like they're just gonna probably rotate their support here. I imagine they're not gonna, go for anything too fancy. They're gonna take away the Rek'Sai, or not take away, but they're gonna pick the Rek'Sai once again. And we saw some varying success on it in Game 1. I'm not sure if I fell in love with the pick. Would have loved to see them pick up the Udyr, the Skarner, Olaf, much better champions, even the Lilia, especially if this Tristana is going mid. Love to see it paired with something in the AP damage category.
Yeah, you know what? I actually agree with you here. I think that picking the Rek'Sai in this instance after coming off of what was a not very proactive early game, not finding too many successful plays, and feeling like you were always behind the play, maybe wasn't the best bet. Either way, we'll have to see if it maybe has a better effect for game number 2. For now, we do, in fact, get our bot lane, as it will be the Nautilus and the Xayah coming through here to round out Phase 1 for Team 7.
And Bunsky trades one hook champion for another. Nautilus providing a different kind of utility, right? Doesn't have the lantern, but does have that point and click engage at the moment's notice, can just tear through your team, and just has that shield. Is so much more tankier than I think Thresh can ever be. So we're gonna see this Nautilus come out, and I think Bunsky will have just an equal amount of impact that he did in Game 1. Just because he's out on the Rakan doesn't mean this Nautilus can't roam. I've seen it time and time again. These guys go into your lane level 2, level 3, and just hook you from a mile away, and that hitbox is deceptively big. But I like the Xayah pick here. Something scaling, something a little bit better than that Jinx. Although they won that game, I don't know if Jinx was the champion for Team 7. I like Xayah, a little bit of self-peel, a little bit more on the side of that early game damage, right? Where, Jinx is more geared towards that late game. I feel like Xayah can really, once she hits level 6, is just so much more impactful in these team fights with the root, with the attack speed steroid that she has. It looks like IR is going to take that set away. I don't think he liked that matchup going into Fiora. So he's like, you know what? If you can do it, I can try to do it better.
Yeah, it feels like one of those moments where you just get destroyed in like a solo queue game, and you're like, all right, you know what, that champion, I'm playing it next. I'm playing the next game. We're gonna give it a go. So they're gonna see if they can maybe roll on through with the set. And well, it's gonna be the Rel coming through here. So a lot of engage, looking to bring that Tristana Rel into the Nautilus Xayah for the bot lane.
And on paper, right, champion-wise, I feel like Tristana Rel just win this lane outright. They get the shove, they get the push. The amount of engage that they can threaten and burst is just so much, right, at level 2. Tristana with the rocket jump and, detonate and charge, and then the Rel with her scoop up, her remount, and just being able to be so much more tankier. But we're going to see the Sejuani pick into this jungle, and I don't know if I necessarily love this champion, and the clear speed's kind of slow, but if you're gonna go for that gank heavy play style, then I definitely love it. The ultimate is so impactful, can get that single target, and we know that Team 7 loves to go into that bot lane, so we're gonna see what they do. But the Cassiopeia and Morgana being banned out, with the Orianna and Syndra on IR side being banned out, so Team 7's champion pool, I wonder what they're gonna pick up mid here. The Victor, I love it. I love that champion.
Yeah, I mean, just so much wave clear, right? And you just add so much damage to those team fights when you get later and later towards the game. And you already have a really nice front line here with the Volibear, the Nautilus, and the Sejuani. I mean, I'm kind of noticing a bit of a trend, right? Like this Team 7 roster likes to play with a lot of meatballs in front of their carry so that they can play front to back and kind of play very standard. But Vladimir, you want it, Shibby. You want it to come on through, and well, you got it. You got it.
And Vladimir just got some buffs onto his Q. He's gonna have it. And the buff may seem minor if you're looking at the patch notes. Oh, a cooldown reduction on Vladimir's Q. That must be nothing. What you don't realize is this guy's a manaless champion. He built so much CDR that, in team fights, that's a DPS upgrade, right? These ability cooldowns. When you have that extra second off of that cooldown on his Q, he can just get that up way more often, can get that healing up much more often, right? You got to realize his empowered Qs heal him for so much, and if he can get 2, 3, even 4 more off in a team fight, he just makes it that much harder to kill, allows his pool cooldown to reset and come back up. I like what Team 7 is going here. The Victor is very good into the Tristana, Rek'Sai, Set, and Rel, right? All champions that want to run into you, and Victor has so much terrain control, has so much, movement ability, kind of forcing you to play differently, right? And I think the concept of footsies is something we can explore. Obviously, this is something in fighting games that we see a lot, but Victor is someone that can force you to go into a direction that you don't want to go to, right? With the Chaos Storm, with the Gravity Field, and just this vying for a position is something that we don't see punished a lot in these lower leagues. And I think Victor is one of those champions that can do it very well with his abilities. So, gonna see what IR is gonna do here. They don't necessarily want to walk into this meat grinder of Xayah Victor, at least in my opinion, right?
I mean, I agree with you. You really do not want to, because it feels like it's almost too much damage that you're going to be able to kind of handle for a lot of these fights if they are able to kind of build up a lead and do what they did a lot of in towards that game number 1 here. So this is a lot of pressure on Ichirat. I mean, they're coming off of a win last week, in towards week number 6. So they have looked a little bit more solid as of late, but so far in towards this series, haven't found a footing in the game number 1, a chance to do so here. And well, I think there is at least a couple more traditional picks that we would expect coming in towards the draft. The Rek'Sai still being maybe a bit of a question mark, I feel like, in both of our minds because of it not finding as much success as maybe we were hoping that a Rek'Sai would in the early game, and it didn't end up coming through. But now you have some better fallbacks. I feel like you have a very mobile AD carry here that's going to be able to get away from a lot of those ganks. And well, if we look back on that game number 1, a lot of that pressure was taking place in towards the bot lane, whether that was the junglers repeat ganking or whether that was roams, TPs, you name it. Just so much attention brought down here where you now have at least 2 self-peel AD carries able to get themselves out of some of those sticky situations and kind of at least survive a little bit easier if that same exact kind of factor unfolds here for us in the bot lane.
Yeah, and it looks like Ichirat took my advice a little bit. I don't know if I was psychically linked to their brains. I don't know if they're listening to the stream, but they have some champions that can bridge that scaling now, right? With the
Yes.
Tristana and Vladimir, they're very scale heavy, right? Now you have the Rek'Sai, now you have the Set. This Rel can look to make an early impact onto the map once she gets roaming. And I think these 3 champions with the Rek'Sai, Set, and Rel can really bridge that gap, can give you some presence in these mid-game team fights that you need, where Vladimir needs time to scale, Tristana needs a couple items, and I think it's gonna be on Team 7 again to push the pace. They have the Victor, they have the Xayah, they have a Volibear, a Nautilus. These guys can just force and engage at the click of a button. As soon as they go, they have the go button, and it's kind of looking like a press W composition, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. I mean, I'm absolutely on the same page. And this is really going to be, again, you have to kind of put a lot of priority on towards this Rek'Sai here and think, okay, what are you going to do differently going in towards this game? The good news is that you're not playing up against a Hecarim, so you're not going to have a jungle that's going to be necessarily outpacing you on towards the map here for yourself. Sejuani doesn't have the fastest clear, so you're able to maybe abuse that a little bit, and you can also kind of look for those early 2v2s where you do have a lot of damage between the Set and the Rek'Sai, or coming through with a Vladimir once he gets maybe some levels in towards his kit. He's going to be a lot more effective in towards those 2v2s here. So there is, I think, a lot of pressure on Awesome Guy here for the second game to see what is he going to bring to the table, what is he going to do differently, is he going to be more proactive? These are all the questions I think that I'm kind of asking and wondering about, because he just took a little bit too long to get going in towards that first game.
Yeah, and you want to see him explore some of these interesting, sort of interesting gank patterns. He wasn't able to get that much done in the mid lane, and I know we're harping
Yeah,
on Awesome Guy a little bit too much here, but it really is on him to get this team fight going. But
it
Visions,
is.
it looks like we're getting into the spectator delay. We're gonna throw it to a short break. Please stick around for game 2. Game 1 was a banger, and if you love LPL, then you'll love Open Dominate Week 7.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. Game number 2 here between Team 7 and Ichiran for the Open Dominant League for week number 7. Well, map number 1, it was a banger for us. Should be a lot going on, a lot of action taking place, and well, we questioned maybe some of the picks coming through here for us, whether or not the Rek'Sai was a good idea again, but it will be Awesome Guy's chance to prove us wrong here in game number 2.
And just another 5-point defense. Looks like Rek'Sai is a little bit late swapping his trinket for that red sweeper. So probably get some early action, at least just denying the vision here. And little Sejuani just out in the mid lane, playing a little dance party with Driblet. But yeah, you mentioned the Rek'Sai. I mean, maybe it works in Awesome Guy's favor that little Sejong decided to not go one of the better, faster clean junglers. The Udyr was up. The Olaf, the Lily, all these guys. He did go Sejuani, so it'll be a little bit of more of an even clearing matchup. Both of these guys are going to look to gank a lot in the early game. Sejuani looking to probably gank Volibear or for Volibear, just has that passive up with her freeze with the melee. You know, melee top lane is so strong. So we're going to see where these laners end up. They're going to be starting on opposite sides of the jungle, so they're going to hopefully secure Skull Crabs for themselves. Full clear will, most likely not happen, I presume, just because these guys aren't the fastest at clearing all of their camps. So we're going to see what happens. We're going to see where the ganks go. But what is your marquee matchup? Now that you've seen game 1, you've seen these two teams, duke it out, Vision. So where do you think the marquee matchup is going to be, and who do you think needs to win it?
I'm looking at top lane. I think that's really where a lot of the action that took place last game, where we saw a massive lead built up for Silver Pleb, able to solo kill, on the Fiora there for Icarino. And if you can maybe look to do that over again, I think that's maybe your opportunity to be able to actually kind of pull away with a nice lead here. So I'm looking for him to now abuse this set in towards the Volibear, and he's already doing so early. Level 2, he's able to chunk out Silver Pleb with this nice wave, and he's doing a good job of it, at least so far.
Yeah, Raikkonen doing pretty good job on the set. Saw that Silver Pebbles playing that last game and said, you know what? Let me give that twirl, and is now just getting that CS lead. 11-3 now. Volibear needs to get all of his levels really to start trading effectively, as we see a slight pause into the mid game, into the game. I believe their AD carry on the side of Ichirat has disconnected, having some internet issues. But Visions, I like how you picked up on that top lane. I think it's so important right now that Set and IR just get ahead, right? Because I feel like they can bridge that gap. They can start vying for these early dragons, as we see, Vladimir taking some punishment right now in the mid lane is going to get pushed in. And, I think bot lane Party Time and Bunsky should lose the push war to Tristana and Rel, just so devastating in that bot lane. So,
and on top of it, last game as well, I mean, there was really no jungle attention towards the top lane. It was just maybe the odd mid roam that we kind of saw. And I feel like that mainly came out of Driblet. I feel like at one moment there when he was on the Cassiopeia, he was able to find an angle to come towards top and actually create an advantage. Other than that, it really did feel like it was just all just kind of left on an island, and everything was happening on the opposite side of the map, where we just saw kind of bot lane gank after bot lane gank kind of take place here for us. So maybe that'll also kind of be a potential change up for as far as what we did get. Now, the other factor that I kind of want to touch on as we have a bit of time, as we're waiting for Kino, to kind of get back in towards this game, was the objective control that came through for Team 7, because they came away with just about every single Rift Herald, every single dragon, and that has to be on your radar going in towards the second game here for as far as Ichirat, making sure that at least putting a little bit more setup and a little bit more focus in and around the objective, so they don't end up getting snowballed on again.
yeah, and really, I think that's the perfect composition for this bot lane on the side of Ichirat, right? Kina and Yoshiko gonna get the push on to bot lane, and Bunsky, and they're not gonna be able to unlock Bunsky from this bot lane and really get that objective control going, right? Because you saw him go into the mid lane, go into the top lane, at least chunk somebody out. Because even if you don't kill them, as long as you force the other person to back, you can start securing those early objectives. So I want to see IR push, push the objective control a little bit more. They have the dominant bot lane, or the better bot lane on paper, right? With the champions, not obviously the people playing. It's very different when it comes to that. But I think just, Tristana and Rel can do so much more on the map, can do so much more in the bot lane. So hopefully we see Rek'Sai flexing, using that power in the bot lane. Well, on the other side of the map, I think, Victor, Little Sejong, and Volibear can kind of look for these early Rift Heralds and really look to unlock top lane. I think you want to get
Yeah.
Silver Club out of here. You want to see him start diving either the mid lane or even the bot lane, right? Volibear's ultimate is so good at that. Disabling turrets is one of the most OP things in the game, I think, especially when it comes to diving champions and just punishing bad wave management.
It can be very, very devastating at times. And the ability to be able to kind of pull that out there is certainly a factor towards maybe building up a bit of a lead, as we could see the call for the jungler to kind of come up towards the top lane. But it looks like both parties are ready once again. So we're back in towards the game. And well, the action starts right away. The trading starts to unfold. It is going to be a gank in towards the mid lane, followed up here and matched. But they're able to get the flash out of Random Capitals here, abusing him early.
Yeah, and Sejuani just a little bit behind, but was able to get that counter gank, dissuade any flash knockup coming out from Awesome Guy. But now Victor's flashless. He's gonna have to play a little bit more safe. As I say that, he's just in the other side of that turret, just trying to get the shove in. I would have loved to see Sejuani help him out with that, but maybe we won't see that here as bot lane Party Time and Bunsky are getting pushed in. That Rel just doing that dismount. And oh my gosh, so tanky.
Oh, the damage coming on through. They're looking for the all-in. Kina does get him very low, but Bunsky able to get out with his life. Now we'll see the jungler get right in towards the mix here. That's bot lane Party Time looking to try and press on forward for the damage. A TP now coming on through, but it might just be a kill on towards the AD carry. Bot lane Party Time, can he get away with a kill? The auto comes on through. He flashes forward with a jump just in time off the reset. And well, the worst possible situation falls through for Team 7 as it's going to be Driblet with the double kill.
A beautiful use of the vision there. I mean, man, Kina could not have played that any better, right? Was able to jump out, W into one bush, and then W into the next bush, not giving bot lane Party Time the ability to auto him between that, right? When you lose vision, your auto doesn't stick with the champion. So very good play by Kina. I like the usage of the W set. I like the situational and spatial awareness from him, and really good TP on the side of Dribble, right? And I feel like this guy has been the shining star of Itchy Rats and has been showing his prowess time and time again. And now the Vlad's 2-0 visions. That's not a sight you want to see, especially on a champion like him. Because once he gets going, there's no stopping the Vlad pain train.
There really isn't. And look at the CS lead as well. That's now taking place down towards the bot lane. So you don't get a trade kill back in your favor. You've lost both of your summoners, and you can already feel a bit of a loss for as far as the CS and XP that's kind of taking place for us early on here. So big advantages for the side of IR in towards this game number 2. This is what we needed to see, and this is what we're going to see here for themselves. So with a lot of summoners now off the Rift, there is a lot of opportunities for junglers to start looking for some proactive plays.
Yeah, and a small 1.1k gold lead at the 5-minute mark is going to be really nice for IR. Now we want to see them push this dragon. The dragon is up. Your bot lane is winning. You have the summoner spell advantage. You have the kill lead. You even have the item lead down there. Get that shove going and, just force early dragons. I mean, this dragon could potentially be, any one of the souls. It's a mountain dragon, so that leaves one of the more, less desirable souls out of play. Could even be an ocean, could be an infernal. So we're going to see what happens. But I like how he's pathing down. You're going to go for that scuttle crab, and I think they just go for this dragon here. Wow. Top lane is just trading left and right. A little bit of a wet noodle fight.
We'll see now some aggressive trades in towards top lane. Just trading back and forth, but bot lane, that's where the action takes place. They have found themselves a Sejuani where she shouldn't be. That's a follow-up there with the tunnel. An awesome guy gets himself on the board earlier, but Bunsky, not where you wanted the flash. And it's the dragon of all things that finds the kill. Another one stacked up for the Vladimir.
3-0 now. Oh my god, he might be building toward that Night Harvester, could be building towards the Hextech Portal. I mean, both items devastating, right, with their mythic passives and just what they can do. And this Vlad is just getting so far ahead, and this is looking scarier and scarier for Team 7. I mean, I don't know how you're going to shut this guy down. He's just going to Hemo Plague onto your team, pull in, and just do so much AoE that it doesn't matter how many tanks you have. Like, he's just going to burn through all of them.
Well, with the dragon going through, Silverpleb does find a window to try to go for it all in. There is the showstopper coming in, followed by the ultimate as well out of Silverpleb. So both will trade ultimates, but the better trade going over towards Silver as he's able to get the flash out here as well.
Yeah, and I don't know if Raikkonen really wanted that trade the way it went. Volibear able to just get a little bit of extra HP. Oh, a little bit of attention. They're just gonna dive this guy? No, they can't. I mean, that's a set. He has the shield. He has the ultimate. He has the true damage. I mean, he doesn't have the ultimate or the flash, but I don't know if this is really a wise choice here. We've seen set dives go Ori time and time again, even at the highest level of play, and really random capitals. I think they're just looking to make something happen. Uh-oh.
Oh, face check. Silver Pleb might just get away with a kill. No flash, but you do have the W. The shield comes on through, turning things around for the 1v2 outplay. Silver Pleb says, no, I calculated. I got the damage. Comes out and gets the kill.
Yeah, and we talked earlier about, getting Silver Pleb ahead, unlocking this top lane. It looks like they're listening. I mean, they can't. Oh, beautiful pool by Dribbler.
Very nice. Big shutdown here. Emo Plague does come on through. We'll get the healing back. Trying to get away. The healing comes in, but the Ignite really stopping a lot of it. Bot lane party time. A big shutdown to get on your Xayah. And the collapse will pay off, as that will be bot lane party time. Coming away with his first kill.
And I think Dribblet just wasn't respecting the fact that Team 7's bot lane was missing. Bunsky, known to roam, known to get on the map, but he just dragged his whole team up there. And you want to see Kina, they didn't even lose anything for this, right? They can't even get the push in. They can't get any of these turret plates. So really unfortunate on their part. Pretty much an unpunished roam going for Team 7 here. We might get that turret plate. Okay. That's a consolation prize. But random capitals doing what he can, 0-2, and we're gonna see this might be another story of Dribblet versus the World Visions.
Feels that way, doesn't it? I mean, Dribblet did just about everything he could last game, trying to roam around the map, and he was doing it on a Cassiopeia. Now he actually has a lead, and he's on a Vladimir that's going to scale very nicely in towards this game number 2 here. So you're sitting in a much better position. And he's looking to contest that wave, of course, in towards the mid lane up against the Victor. A roam timing, though, is available for the Rel, and there is a flash back up. They're going to make a play. The flash does, in fact, come through as 3 players make their way in towards the mid lane, but unable to come away with the kill. Bot lane now. Kina does go right in. The ultimate comes through, locks him up, and Kina rooted up again as he has to flash away. But Bunsky won't be able to land the Q just in time. Little Sage unable to come on through, does bring home the kill, and that is going to be a nice play, but over-aggressive for Kina as he dives in too far.
And, what we didn't pick up on there is that Dribblet got his TP canceled with the Victor Gravity Field. Just TP right in front of the man, no respect, gets it canceled. Would have been an amazing TP onto them, would have been able to do a lot of damage with the Hemo Plague, with everything, but unfortunate for Dribblet and Itchy Rats. But now we see Team 7 clawing their way back. From like a 1.5k goal lead. Now it's still about 1k, but the kills are going on to the right people, right? It's going on to the Xayah. It's going on to the Volley Bear. Sejuani even picking up one here is getting really tanky. This Cloud Dragon is going to be coming up in about a minute and a half as well. Looking to get some vision down, so it will be either an Ocean and Infernal Drake, and you know that none of these teams can let those go for free.
Definitely do not want those going over for free by any means, and well, we're going to start to see some of that vision cleared out. Bunsky, level 6, makes his way over towards the mid lane, wants to protect his Victor that has no flash here and is vulnerable towards a gank. Meanwhile, Awesome Guy, he's been taking his time on towards the Rift Herald, where he has a bit of priority in and around the map, and you want to do everything you possibly can around Dribblet. Wasn't going to be able to help him if there were to be a bit of a smite fight that does take place here for us, but it will be secured. Rek'Sai able to bring it home, and now it's a Rift Herald that you have up for grabs, but little engage does come on in. There is going to be no ultimate available from Sejuani, but there is the Stormbringer. Awesome Guy in some trouble, has the flash, following it up here with the stun, locking him down. Rek'Sai does get flashed on your Awesome Guy with a sliver of HP, walks it out, and Silver Pleb might just be in trouble, and he will fall, diving too far. The kill comes away, and Set will collect.
Oh, and another action. I don't think I'm allowed to speak.
Oh, it just goes. Here's the Feather Storm, there's the root, and well, the kill follows. Bot lane party time gets a second kill, might just be a third. Yoshiko, nowhere to really go, but Dribblet here to maybe get him out. Here is the pool, following it up with a damage. There's the flash as well. The Hemo Plague will finish off the kill, but Yoshiko goes too far, and that will be a kill once again for a 2-for-1 down in the bot lane.
Oh, and top lane Rankaro trying to go on to this Victor. I don't know if you want that fight, buddy.
Oh man, it's just one lane to the next, and well, there is the damage. Rankaro able to walk himself out. Does eat a bit of damage in return, but will survive here for now.
And, it did go 2-for-1 in the favor of Team 7, but another kill. Vision's going on to that Vladimir. That guy's looking really scary. Night Harvester and Magic Pen boots. I can't wait to see how much damage this man is going to deal in this next team fight. This Dragons is up, and I don't know if they're going to give this away. Team 7 has the luxury of kind of giving it away. They might want to scale a little bit more. They must feel that they're down, right? Mythic's coming out on the side of Uchi Rats with the Prowler's Claw, the Night Harvester, while no Mythics coming on the side of Team 7 other than the Gale Force on Zaya. So probably can't fight it, but now this is an Infernal Drake, Visions. These next two Dragons, I don't care whether they want to fight or not, they will, it looks like. So really interesting choice on the side of Raikkonen to go and pick up this war. He's might pay for it with his life as Bunsky's here. Okay, the flash is gone.
Good flash. Great flash to make sure that you are not going to be taken down for a trade on towards the map here. And that's just a great roam out of Bunsky as well. Realizing that they're not going to, try and make anything happen in around the second dragon. They want to make a play towards the other side of the map. But now the Rift Herald comes on down. They want to give this Vladimir as much gold as possible. And that's going to be just about the tower going over towards Dribblet.
And all the eggs are in the Dribblet basket for Itchy Rats. And you know what? If I was going to give it to any player, if I would give all my eggs, it'd probably be him. This guy has been performing exceptionally well in Game 1 and just been doing his part in Game 2 to get his bot lane ahead. He's been beautiful on the TP timings other than that one that got canceled. Was able to get there down for the roams. Was here for the dragon. So I don't mind using it. And it's a very efficient use of that Rift Herald, right? It was at 3 plates at the bottom, so it's getting the max damage there as well. So I want to see, lane assignments happening, and this is very different from Game 1. Game 1 felt more like, it was Team 7 just rolling over IR for the beginning, and then the mid game was back and forth, and then Team 7 kind of got lucky with the Baron helping them out. But now this is a bit more even, it's a bit more matched. It feels like teams are trading back and forth plays here and there.
Well, the bot lane is going to rotate over towards mid, as it's still Zaya posted up, trying to defend that tower with just a bit of sliver of HP here for herself. Top lane, it's going to go here again, back and forth, the blows, and remember, no flash here. Available on either top laners, but now in towards mid. That's a beautiful hook, just threading the needle, able to land it on the edge, coming away with a kill here for the Sejuani.
And if I'm Yoshiko, I'm just blaming Ryan. That hitbox was a little bit janky, but, top lane coming in. Ooh. Oh, my.
Oh, I mean, he's got to be down, but he throws him under the tower. The outplay might just be here, and it is! Unbelievable 1v1 taking place, able to outplay the Volley Bear and Silverplat. Feeling bad about that one.
Yeah, it's WWE in the top lane, right? RKOs, elbow slams, the Rock is what is it cooking? It's so many slams going in as the Magnastorm comes in.
Now that's going to be beautiful, able to land onto a couple players, but Rek'Sai just gets popped in the fight. Little Sejong also very, very low as Kita follows through, but here comes Dribblet, and Dribblet brings the damage, packs a punch with the Vladimir. Might just be a triple kill, but doesn't have enough of the tank to go for the dive. Still, big plays coming out as they're able to come away with another 2-for-1.
Yeah, and Dribblet coming in, picking up those 2 kills. He was just so much damage. You saw the ability to just pop these tanks, right, in the Sejuani, although she was not full health. I mean, Victor died too, and Kina here just providing the support, getting the damage down. Probably wants a kill or 2 in the pocket, but it looks like, IR is in the driver's seat right now with a comfortable 2.9, almost, I want to say 3K gold lead. Let's leave it at that. And, this Dragon's coming up in a minute and 30. Bunsty's going to do all he can to try to get the Vision down. They're going to roam onto this Vlad, but this guy can 1v2. Can he 1v3 though, Visions? That's the question.
Can he 1v3? He's going to have to try because he's in it. And, well, he's in for the long run. A lot of damage here on towards Random Capitals. And, well, now there's a 4th member, and that is one too many. A big shutdown as well going over towards Random Capitals. So his roam will pay off as he's now got lots of gold to spend in the base.
Yeah, Dribblet feeling himself a little bit, feeling really strong. I believed in the 1v3 Visions. I did not believe in the 1v4, though. That was not going to happen unless he might have had the Hemoplague up. He could have done something. But Raikkonen just beating on this turret, getting the top lane down, and now we're going to see some Vision wars coming. Bunsky getting that hook onto Yoshiko, trading back and forth, saying, hello, I'm here. I can hook you, but nobody's behind me. Just threatening, feigning pressure. And I think that's been the name of the game of these two supports, right? Just, faking each other out, applying pressure where they can. It feels like Bunsky has been getting the upper hand. Oh, no.
Oh, Yoshiko in some trouble, is dismounted. Has Kina right behind him, so maybe not lethal threat, but the whole team is now in. Kina forced to try and get away, so does invest the rocket jump. They're going to slowly go down. Yoshiko might be looking for the re-engage. The Megastorm able to find a couple of players. Can they bring home the kills? Awesome guy does take down one, but it cost him his life. The Hemo Plague landing onto both players. Can they bring home a second? The answer, yes they can. Kina finds his first kill of the game. Another 2-for-1 in what looks to lead towards a dragon as well.
And beautiful Magnet Storm from Yoshiko Visions. I told you, this champion is broken. Why is nobody picking it? Looks like they listened to me. They found the Magnet Storm, and if they can just get these combos off a little bit more cleaner, I feel like Driblet will just take this game over more than he already has, right? Magnet Storm into Hemo Plague just seems so strong of a combination.
We certainly saw it there. That Wombo combo coming down and the damage to follow it up. Too much to handle, and well, you can just see bot lane party time would love to catch that caddy wave, but with that health bar, you are not allowed to do so. Driblet would give you one little high, and you would be down. Exchange of ultimates take place for us in towards the mid lane through both top laners, and that means that they will now both walk out.
Yeah, they're just really excited to see each other. They gave us a jumping high five going back out. I mean, this is a WWE match for Volibear and Set, and I love these ultimates, these big jumping ultimates getting out. But I feel like Sets is on a bit of a lower cooldown than Volibear, so maybe they look to abuse that in this upcoming team fight that is bound to happen, either in the mid lane or the bot lane. Bunsky still trying his best to affect the map. 0-1-7 scoreline has been on a majority of these kills, but we have to give it to Driblet right now. He's just been doing so much work on the map, having so much damage. And Rek'Sai, awesome guy. We were talking about this, man. He has to have a bigger impact on the map, and he's been doing it.
He's been bringing it for us for sure. Really being just in sync with a lot of the plays that they're looking to do, and they're playing around the carries correctly. Driblet, who's now on 2 items after securing that Cosmic Drive, going to be that much more difficult to deal with on towards the map. Meanwhile, it is bit of a stack in towards the mid lane here for the side of Team 7. They got about 4 of their 5 players just hovering in and around, expecting maybe a play to take place here for us. And well, we do have the Rift Herald on the map. The first one was secured here from Awesome Guy. A chance maybe to take home the second. You can already see Yoshiko just moving in towards the jungle, looking to set up some vision for a chance to collect it if an opportunity arises.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they're just posturing out here. Oh no, Yoshiko's back in. A Magnet Storm.
Oh, they go right back in, and well, Random Capitals has no health, but he might be able to make it out. That is the dive. The Void Rush does make sure it is a trade. So a 1-for-1 so far between both of these squads as the top laners now try to run it down. There it is. The showstopper comes through, but Silver Pleb, maybe with the turn, able to deal a bit of damage himself. The punches come on through, and the right hook brings it home for the 1v1 outplay.
Yeah, boxing match, WWE. We get in all the kind of sports. Might as well be a UFC fight in the top lane set, eking out that victory. I like the itemization choice from him. That Bork probably won him that fight, right? Doing that percent health damage into 3 tanks as well as Driblet. Testing his damage, limit testing here onto Little Sage. That's a lot of damage.
Brings him down to about half HP, so getting the job done. Yoshiko does find the 80 carry in bot lane party time. Sure, he's got the Feather Storm, but that's not going to save you. And Driblet, meanwhile, he's diving in between towers. It doesn't get much worse than this. One by one, they fall. Team 7, they got nothing left in the tank as it's a triple kill for Driblet.
Oh, maybe Volibear wants to gift him that Quadra. You don't want that Silver Pleb. Get out of there. It's a very scary Vlad, and beautiful play by IR. It feels like Driblet just knows his champion, knows the limits of what he can do on this Vladimir. And I love how his team is just playing around him, supporting him, taking that mid lane, applying pressure where it needs to be, and allowing this man to just carry. And this is the power of this Vladimir, especially when he gets going so early onto the game. A Dragon coming up in about 1.5 minutes. This fight's going to happen whether we like it or not, Vision. And I feel like this Vlad is just a menace. He hasn't even backed it, sitting on a pretty big paycheck as well. We're going to see what he comes out with. Probably with the Zanyas, I would suspect, just so he can have that survivability. But no grievous wounds really on the side of Team 7 other than Volibear. But Vladimir's not going to be autoing him, so they need to get, Executioners on the Zaya. Perfect. Just picked it up. So we're going to see maybe a little bit of help on the side of Team 7. But it just feels like it's almost insurmountable, this goal lead at this point. It's 8,000 gold ahead for IR at 21 minutes.
Looking really strong right now. IR, Ichirat, looking to bring home this game so they can force it towards a game number 3, and there is just not a lot of items that you'd love to have. I mean, Yoshiko, he's even playing with his food right now. You don't exactly have everyone here. The Zaya, not in position to take this fight just yet. Will be just about 10 or 15 seconds later. Now the TP in from behind, coming through for Driblet as they set the engage up in the front line. The Megastorm found one.
Goodbye.
Random Capitals is deleted off of the Rift. They'll follow it up with a damage, and well, there is the showstopper, a double. And a third kill followed up here from Kina as he gets involved with a fight. A 3-0 unfolds in the mid lane as it's going to be Ichirat running down mid and taking the dragon.
And Bunsky going for a little bit of a trip, trying to get away, and he does. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, no. Oh, no. Leave the man alone. Leave him alone. He's supporting Nautilus. Your mid lane, just help end the game. As we're going to see the dragon being picked up by Rek'Sai. I like the split decision here. I like that, they got people onto these inhibitors, pushing them, and you only need the Rek'Sai for that dragon. I think it's a classic, mistake that a lot of teams make as we maybe see a team fight in this base. Just get the inhibitor and get out.
Kino's going to do exactly that. Last auto is there. Does get a little dicey. They could look to try and start something. Silver Pleb says, yes, I absolutely want to start something. The flash is out from Kita. The kite looking good, but now the fighting towards the front line. It might just be dribbling out of this one, but he does the Hebo play. The damage comes through. The healing is in and Driblet. No way does he survive that fight. It's the ace. It's the game. And ladies and gents, we're going to game 3.
On the back of Driblet here, his back must be killing him right now. 13-2 floor scoreline, and that's just the power of Vladimir. That's just the power of this man in the mid lane, living with such a sliver of HP, so much healing on the side of Vladimir and Visions. That just seemed like a dominant performance from Ichirat from the get-go.
Wow, that was not the turnaround I was expecting, but I am here for it. Ichirat just testing the waters, pushing the limits, bringing out some new champions as well as retrying others from game number 1, and it comes together beautifully here for us. That was just such an incredible performance from top to bottom, and it was really just the exact same narrative that we pulled from game 1 that's in their hands for the game number 2. Ichirat controlling the objectives, bringing home the Rift Heralds, making sure that they're getting their carries ahead, and just really packing the punch when we got towards those team fights.
And Vladimir picking up those early kills was just really detrimental for Team 7. I think just him getting that 2-0, 3-0 lead, it just started snowballing, right? Has the fully stacked Medjai's right there. I'm looking at it right now. Was working towards Zanzania's, and I just felt like nobody could match it. And we talked about it, right? If Ichirat gets even a little bit ahead in this gold, it'll just outpace the tankiness of Team 7. I liked what they were trying to go for. I understand, the volley bear, but when Sejuani is going up against Rek'Sai, I just feel like Rek'Sai has such an innate advantage in clear speed and gank ability. Sejuani wasn't really able to do too much on the map. I think I saw her ult maybe like 3 times, and only one of them really resulted in a kill, which was that one into the bottom lane onto Kina. But I expect a little Team 7 to go back to the drawing board with a better draft, with better, faster clearing junglers. It feels like little Sejong, when he gets going, his whole team gets going. And I think they need to unlock Bunsky from this bottom lane as well. So might see the Bard, might see the Rakan again. We'll see. Visions, how do you expect Team 7 to bounce back from this?
First off, you got to kind of take a reset and say, listen, we gave a lot of kills over towards the scaling carry that kind of took over the game. So we have to make sure, one, we're not doing that going in towards the future. And I think you already hit on a key point. Let's get the jungler on something that can be just a little bit more effective, because Awesome Guy seems to have favor towards this Rek'Sai. So I feel like you want to match early game jungle aggression with early game jungle aggression to match that, so that you can go tit for tat on towards the map, especially early on, where a lot of these games have been determined from that early to mid game, playing around these objectives and specifically around these dragons. So I think that's what I want to see coming in towards this draft. Let's get him on something that is going to be more proactive and just a little bit more aggressive. And well, we'll see if that's the case for us, because we're going to game number 3. It's a banger, a lot of fighting, both teams coming away with a game, but only one can be a winner. And we're going to find out who that is going to be as we get ourselves ready for game number 3. So ladies and gents, we're going to throw things to a break, but we come back. we got a decider for who's coming out on top. Well, ladies and gentlemen, game number 3. Who would have thought? Well, Well, it wasn't me, that's for sure. I thought maybe this one might have been done in two for us, but either way, we're going the distance. I'm here for it. It's been a lot of fighting. There has been some crazy plays that have taken place here for us. And well, of course, it's myself, Vision, joined with Chibi as we get ourselves ready to jump in towards this one to see if we will get anything different coming in towards this draft for us. So far, the Thresh taken off the board as we expect. The Hecarim and the Seraphine will follow. And so far, it's going to be T7 taking away the Shen, the Rek'Sai, and the Sen.
Yeah, and they don't want this set falling into the hands of Itchy Rats. He played very well. Their top laner played very well on it. Was able to, beat the Volibear. It looks like they're gonna first pick the Rel. I like that. I would have gone for the Tristana here, but maybe they just don't value it as much. I think Rel really helped enable whatever composition they wanted to play, and I think Rel just fits into anything, right? She can do peel, she can do hard engage, she can do a hybrid style where she can be the main engage, she can be the follow-up. So I think it's just such a very versatile champion, and it was just really enabled Itchy Rat's playstyle. And a lot of those fights were set up on the back of Rel.
Okay, Leona is going to be the match here, and we were kind of questioning where we're going to get a Rakan, where we're going to get something just a little bit different coming in towards this game. And well, with the Thresh being taken away and a couple other picks, it's going to be the Leona and the Tristana coming down in towards the bot lane here for Team 7.
Yeah, Team 7 picking up the Tristana. Over here is going to be looking very good for them. Don't want to give it to Kina this time. Bot lane party time is going to get that Trist. Is going to look to take it away, but now we're going to see what they answer with. They'll probably answer with the Jinx. Bot lane party played that in game 1. I'm sorry, they did not play it in game 1, but they're probably going to answer with the Jinx here. Is that Holy Trinity? They have the Kai'Sa. The Rammus being locked here. Team 7 was banning that Rammus out, I believe, for both games, so it's going to be locked in here. Got some buffs in 11.8, got a little bit of changes, so I don't know if Team 7's jungler has really any familiarity playing against this, right? The clear speeds have changed,
right?
The gank ability has changed, like post 6, like, you need time to play against these champions, so the unexpected pick from Itchy Rats may just work in their favor just for unfamiliarity, right? Might be a little bit of a Gouda cheese.
Very possible for us. And well, the Kai'Sa gonna follow up here with this Rammus to round things out. I mean, already liking this. The first time Kai'Sa's really kind of popped in towards the series here, coming back. So I mean, that should be at least a little bit nice to see for as far as the follow-up and towards the Rel, the Rammus that's going to be able to set up these engages in the CC from a very long ways away. And now to see what will we get for the round out. Will it be a jungler? Will it be a mid laner like we've seen here for the very last pick a couple of times? And well, it is a Karthus coming on through, able to add lots of pressure to the map with that Requiem.
I like it, and I like it just in the fact that Karthus is somebody that can get invaded very early. So when you lock in this Rammus, I'm not saying Rammus can't invade, but I don't know how much damage he's going to be able to do this. Karthus still a very fast clear, even with some of the nerfs that came out to his Q, can still clear very quickly. Can clear that whole jungle before the Rift Scuttle comes up with his Q, with his E. And picking it into the Rammus is just, giving that Rammus that much less value, right? AP jungler is going to come in probably in AP mid, and the only AD that he's really going to get to build against is going to be that Tristana and most likely the top lane, but it's going to be a top lane tank coming out for T7 most likely. So I like the adaptation. I like the Karthus. I want to see where it goes. I want to see how it does, not where it goes. It's obviously going to go in the jungle. But how do you feel about Karthus in the jungle?
Honestly, it's a pick that I think is really infuriating to play against because it doesn't matter what's happening on towards the map. You always know in the back of your mind that Requiem might just come on through. So I'm honestly a fan of it just because it's really good in these scrappy games. We're talking about a lot of fighting that's been taking place here for us so far. That is great to have an ultimate that's going to target every single opponent on the enemy team and just do a bit of additional damage. So I'm a big fan of it.
Yeah, the Spartan laser coming in from the top ropes, but Scion coming in. See the tank coming in from Team 7, just giving that much less value to this Rammus. It looking more and more like this Rammus is going to be on the heels of Tristana and Tristana only, and having these beefy guys can kind of stop that Q, right? Stop that power ball and be that front line that they need. But Rammus can now jump over everybody, so I'm going to see how he utilizes this ultimate. I think it's going to be very interesting to see where the prioritization goes for these laners and how he's going to take these ganking resources, his time, and put it elsewhere. Ornn coming out in the top lane, very good scaling pick. I like ornaments. I know he got nerfed a little bit, but I still think they're pretty good.
And after all of the top lane aggressive matchups that we've gotten with the set Fiora, with
Oh.
the set Volibear, it's a bit of a changeup coming on through. And now will it be a victor once again? We saw it in the last game, didn't have a ton of success, but that will be the blind pick coming in towards the very last pick to round out Ichirat's draft.
Yeah, and instead of going for the flat here, they take the victor away from um, a random capital. Is going to push him onto something maybe he's not too comfortable on. The Oriana being banned out. We're going to see what he can go on to. The Corki is up. The Azir is up. The Zoe is up. Syndra is up as well. Ooh, all right.
All right.
I kind of scarcely picked, right? You know, you'll see a couple
Yep.
characters, couple, players in the leagues, different leagues picking up Doingby being one of the LPL, Humanoid in, LEC for the Mad Lions. Like you see it picked up here and there, and a champion that, as funny as it may sound, takes a lot of skill, both mechanically and decision making, right? Those realm warps are so important later into the game, getting your team in the right position, getting them, essentially a free teleport and a free flank behind them. And, if you get this Leona and this Scion on a flank with this realm warp, it can be devastating for IR. But Victor is going to do pretty good into the matchup. And Visions, I have to ask you, who has the draft advantage in this game?
Honestly, I think I'm leaning just a tad bit towards IR here. I mean, I think that this Rammus pick is actually really, really strong right now for as far as what it brings to the table. And the amount of engage that you have here from the side of IR is just almost too much to deal with when you're talking about, the Call of the Forge God from the Ornn. You're talking about the Rammus that's going to come on through, and then the Magna Sword from the Rel. Like, there is just so much CC, and it's not as reliable CC for the other side. For Team 7, I'm looking at, okay, you can set things up with a Solar Flare, right, in towards the Zenith Blade and follow up with some damage, but you have to land the skill shot here for yourself. Scion, he can come through, with the charge, look to try and maybe find some value, but that's likely going to be blocked from one of the 3 tanks that you have. So I think off the bat, I'm looking at IR and thinking that they're sitting pretty good right now with the drafts that they came together with.
Yeah, and I'm a big fan of easier to execute comps Visions, and I think
Sure.
IR does have that easy to execute comp. You mentioned skill shots. Call of Forge God is a little bit tricky to land, but I think Rammus is a very straightforward champion. Rel, obviously very straightforward. You jump onto them, you hit your magnet storm, you try to get onto them. Victor and Kaisa. Victor is just very, has his laser as a skill shot, but his chaos storm, his gravity field. I mentioned, pressure and movement and forcing Team 7 to funnel into a certain choke or funnel into a area where they don't want to will make them very uncomfortable. But like you said, on the side of Team 7, realm warps have to be on point. The Scion charges can be played around. The Zenith Blade and the Solar Flare, like who is she realistically going to hit? Kaisa's going to be trying to dip and dodge and moving around with her skill shots and all of her abilities, and Victor is just going to play such a far range. So gonna have to see some skills coming out from Bunsky here. But I like the Tristana pick. I like the adaptation with the Karthus, but I gotta agree with you. I think IR has the easier to execute comp. So, their draft is just a little bit more favored in my opinion. And if it goes anywhere like the game, like the likes of game 2, IR can just, take that early lead and just run with it.
Yeah, I mean, they certainly can here for themselves. And something to note as well is that just about every single team that has come through on towards, our red side for us has been winning and has been controlling the Drakes. So I think that's also got to be a pretty big influence, right? When we've seen now back-to-back souls come through for the team that's on red side, that means that the teams are coming through on blue need to have much better prep, a lot better setup for as far as the vision control in and around these dragons to make sure that they're not going over for free. Now, that very likely could be difficult because the Tristana going to naturally have the push with the passive, of course, on towards their E, the Leona, able to kind of bob and weave and look to roam a lot in towards maybe the river and things like this. And while Bunsky did do a lot of that in towards the game number 1, but didn't find as much favor in towards the game number 2, maybe except for that top lane play that he looked to set up and trade for the dragon and got the flash. So I'm looking for the Leona as well to be kind of proactive and Bunsky to hopefully go back to what he was doing so well in that very first initial game for us.
Yeah, I like how you take, on Team Seven's essentially, win condition, right? It's getting Bunsky unlocked. It's getting that natural push, forcing IR under turret and just, making IR guess where is Bunsky? Is he back? Is he in the top lane? Is he in the mid lane?
Right.
He's almost like Rambo in some cases where you don't know where he is just until he strikes. And then at that moment, it's very quick. And this Victor is going to be a very juicy target, right? Very immobile. And Dribblet is no stranger to mid lane pressure. That man was getting dogged on in game one and even was getting a lot of attention in game two, albeit the right attention that time was going into the bot lane. So we're going to see how they use their TPs, but visions. I want to ask you one final question before we head into our break. What is your marquee matchup for this game?
I'm looking at the junglers this time around. Last time I said it was the top lane. This time we got two junglers that are on different picks that they haven't played so far in towards the series, and both have had a strong showing either in game number 1 or game number 2. So I'm looking to see how it all comes together in the very last game. Who will get the edge over the other? We're about to find out. Ladies and gents, we're going to take a small break. Get ready for the last game of the night to see who will put another win up on the board. Don't go too far. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Open Dominate here on Risen Team 7 and Ichirat. They go head-to-head for what will be the very last game of this best of 3. Who will get the best over the other? So far, it's all been red side wins, but both of us favoring the draft here on the blue side and looking to see if we might just get a win coming out to play the difference in the standings for as far as both squads being 2-4.
Yeah, and just wanted to point out for the audience, it was actually a mispick on the side of Driblet. He did not pick the victor. He ended up picking the Vladimir in the champ select. Was all sorted out in the post games or the post pick lobby. So just to get you out there, we're gonna see the Driblet Vlad once again on the Bloodlord Vladimir, looking to make an impact like he did last game. Was super crucial on these TP timings. And now we see the Predator Rammus, and I believe that interaction actually doesn't work, right? If he queues and Predators at the same time, the channel gets interrupted because both of them are channels, correct?
I think if you Predator before Q, maybe it works. Maybe not. We're going to find out, though, really soon.
Yeah.
When he gets boots, our eyes glued to the screen, looking at what Awesome Guy does with that first Predator and whether or not it works for him. So we'll see what happens. In the meantime, both junglers opting in for what has been the common start here, staying on the same side of the map. We'll be leashing off in towards the red and the blues and keeping our eye on the Karthus. He's going to be going for some fast clears, looking to see just how good he's going to be on this clear, I think is the biggest factor when we're talking about Karthus.
Yeah, and the one main thing about Karthus is that this man struggles to take a Scuttle Crab. He needs some help, so I don't think he's going to be going for that as we see a cheeky level 2 gank.
Oh, man, this is frustrating. A tower shot does come through. A bit of hesitation as well as Awesome Guy. Have to imagine he had the taunt available and tried to get it off, but doesn't even get the flash for the level 2 plays. So not bad here for Random Capitals to get out with his life.
Going to be behind on the clear, but it looks like he's just going to opt to take his whole top side up here as we see some action in the bot lane.
Oh, flash early at a bot lane party time, and Lunsky doesn't have the level 2, so we can't go for a re-engage. Just a nice play coming through to the bot lane for IR to be able to punish a summoner early.
And spotted out is Karthus, but I mean, we can't really do much if you see him. He's going to clear. He's going to do what he can, and he's going to get that clear off as Rammus is just now clearing his Grump. As Karthus has finished 4 camps visions, this guy is on a clearing rampage. But we mentioned the natural push that bot lane party time was supposed to have, but I just feel like if he's going to keep eating these random CCs, as we see. Oh, okay. Some trading in the mid lane, but if he keeps eating these dismounts and engages, I mean, they're not going to be able to get the push off. They're not going to be able to enable Bunsky to roam into the other lanes. So really good on Kina and Yoshiko. Kina going with the cleanse as well. So I like that summoner spell choice. A lot of CC on the side of Team 7 with the Scion knockup with the Leona CC. So looks like Random Capital is just going to try to go for... Oh, was going for an early recall, but now sees that Driblet is just trying to keep this wave frozen. Oh, another gank.
I don't think it's going to work. I mean, even if he gets on him, like Driblet's got 1 HP and he is not very strong this early on. The cooldown's very, very long here. So they're trying to force pretty hard on towards Random Capitals, and he's doing a good job of soaking up the pressure. Top lane, there's a nice trade. Silver Pleb, who's been doing a good job of holding his own, doesn't get the best of that trade here in the 1v1.
Yeah, just eats all of the damage from Ornn. The brittle, the hammer, the fire-breathing monster that he is. Oh,
whoa.
Capitals?
Oh, he gets the Q off, but it still costs Driblet his flash. So he is not in the best of positions here, feeling it from the rise. But top lane might be a first blood. Flash comes out, followed by a flash. And there is the first blood. Grino able to come away with a nice one here for 400 gold in his pocket.
Yeah, and really good solo kill here. It just feels like Silver Pleb's just not respecting this top lane, right? And I think we talked about it, a little bit, in the pre-game and pre-match talk that, if Team 7, has a weak point, it is this top lane as we see some action in the bot lane.
Very, very low. The tower shot comes through. It's a 1-for-1, and Kaisa comes out with the kill. Bunsky takes his, and well, he might be in some trouble. Has to try and get himself out of the spot, but it's going to be no follow. But in the end, a much better trade here for Ichirat.
Yeah, Kaisa picking up that kill. Oh, is Rise going to just contest this? Yeah, bully him. Bully this Ravis.
Oh, this is pain. This is pain. No flash either. Has the ghost, and got a bob and weave, my friend. Bob and weave. Oh, he does get himself out with a power ball, getting a little bit closer than I'm sure he even expected. And now that is also Awesome Guy forced off of the map for the time being.
Yeah, really not able to get too many successful ganks. He was actually getting ganked by the Riser, looking to get some revenge, getting the pink ward down. But overall, gets the Scuttle Crab in the top lane. But Karthus is still ahead in camps. Oh my god, 24 to 40 CS. That Karthus is ramping up. As
Yes.
long as Team 7, come out of this early game with, even if they're down maybe 1 to 1.5k gold lead, Bunsky going in.
This is what we wanted, right? Even if he doesn't find it, it's just the pressure of Driblet now not having that W for a good 20 seconds. And you can see it, a forced recall coming through. They're putting so much attention so far, Chibi, in and around this mid lane and making sure Random Capitals has the best possible laning experience with the lead he's already been able to build up.
Yeah, it's like a spot treatment for mid laners. I feel like Random Capital is getting the executive membership. Driblet is just getting fed to the wolves, it feels like. Karthus coming in, Leona coming in, and Random Capital is able to even have the ability to just go into the river and start, beating up Awesome Guy of the Rammus. But I like what they're doing. I like what Bunsky is doing. I mean, there's not much else to do. When you and your AD carry back, I mean, just head to the mid lane, pay to visit, earn some cooldowns, right? I mean, you're much faster than your AD carry most of the time. You're getting those Moby boots. You'll be back to lane by the time your AD carry gets to that farm. And I like the roam timings from Bunsky. It feels like Yoshiko is just one step behind. He's playing for that lane dominance. An early drag stacking is coming in. I think it's the earliest drag that's being taken this
It
series.
is. Awesome Guy, though. I mean, he's level 4. He's going to get some XP off this, sure, but this is going to put him pretty far behind in tempo. Maybe just simply accepting the role of playing for the team at the moment, as this should be the dragon going over. I mean, no one's really making a move out of the bot lane right here, and it's actually a move made on towards them. Level 6 here for Driblet. Can they get on towards the Tristana? The answer looks to be no, as she jumps away, and the Hemo play comes through, but only finds damage.
Yeah, I mean, getting this dragon here, but Karthus is level 6. Now he can use his Requiem, his Spartan Laser coming down onto everybody. And these close trades that were happening for Random Capitals for Silver Pleb. Oh, yeah, get out of there. Just get out of there. You don't want any of that. The Predator coming out and the Powerball. But yeah, these close really trades that were happening in the mid, the ball, and even the top lane. Now Karthus can affect the map as we see Raikkonen going for another solo kill.
Oh, Call the Forge God comes through, but it will be matched with the Unstoppable Onslaught, so not going to be able to bring home the kill, but still leading the charge. It's Raikkonen doing a good job of just pressuring it around, and we'll look to continue to do this as he's been able to build himself up, actually, a little bit of the CS lead, too.
Raikkönen's flash is down. They must know this. One more coming in from Rise. Karthus looking to cut him off. Oh.
Does have a flash soon, but maybe not soon enough. Does actually get himself out, and that's a big play. I mean, 3 players collapse, and I feel like you could have been a little bit more aggressive there as the Karthus. Not the case, and maybe now a turnaround as Driblet turns on towards Random Capitals, threatens him at least to take the longer route in and around the mid lane.
Yeah, bot lane party time gonna get a plate for himself, but I would have loved to see Karthus. Yeah, like you said. Oh, Bunsky coming in the mid lane.
Driblet, he's low. Ignite's ticking. Goodbye, Driblet. Can't flash away from that, and that will be another kill collected and a nice roam out of Bunsky.
Feel like I've heard you say that time and time again this series. It's a nice roam from Bunsky, but he has been playing really well, and his bot laner is not really getting punished either, right? 61 to 62 CS, 61 to 62 CS. Apologies there. Kaisa is up in a kill though, or half a kill. Bot lane party time did get the assist, but yeah, like you said, the bot lane attention going here. 2 kills onto Bunsky. Must be feeling good with a lot of that gold in that pocket. But yeah, Karthus would have been a little bit more aggressive there. I think he just got caught taking his red buff, so it was a little bit awkward gank timing, but I think they just wanted to get out the flash. But coming out all even in the top lane for now. The kill ahead for him. He's coming out squared. But Team 7, 1k gold lead early in this game. And they have, I would say they have the scaling composition just because they have Karthus, Rise, and Tristana, but Vlad is definitely, somebody that, can get really powerful, can scale a lot into this mid to late game. So really good for Team 7 to get that small gold lead.
Well, things will just halt here. A big change up from the last 2 games where it feels like we've maybe had likes of 10 kills before 10 minutes. This time only 4, so you can already kind of just tell on how teams are kind of playing this time around, as Bunski's doing what he always does, just making a little appearance in towards the mid lane, seeing what exactly he might be able to find. Does just get a pink ward out of the dot brush to be able to take away some of that vision. Don't have a dragon coming up for about 2 minutes, but bot lane decides to get a little mixy. That's going to be the exhaust coming out. The solar flare follows. There comes the Requiem, but will it be a kill? No, it is not. Yoshino looking to maybe see if he can maybe force things around, but does not have his AD carry with him with enough health. So everyone will back away and no one falls.
Yeah, and a little preemptive onto that Requiem. Would have loved to see him hold on to it just a little bit longer. Wait for that Kaiser shield to go down, but unable to get the kill. Does get, I believe, 1 Dark Harvest stack, but that's a long cooldown for Karthus. Not going to be able to do much. And this Karthus is 0-0-0. Same with Awesome Guy. But I think in this situation, Karthus is just completely satisfied with farming his camps, rotating them, and just being a presence on the map and being for these counter ganks. So all in all, going in the favor. The jungle matchup, like you said, a marquee matchup. Awesome Guy unable to do much. Little Sejong getting the better of it for it now.
Nice rated towards the top lane here again. Silver Pleb able to land a bit of damage, but he's actually taking a good amount in return. Called the Forge God is going to come out, but a beautiful unstoppable onslaught will make sure the second proc doesn't come through. But into the mid lane, we will get a fight, and it's going to be a quick kill onto Awesome Guy. But in the top lane, once again, another solo kill coming on through. Raikarino looking good on the Ornn.
Yeah, and Silver Pleb really living up to his name there, getting solo killed once again by Raikarino. And yeah, the point that we brought up, right? Team 7's, weak point up there would be that top lane. I think they're taking really good advantage of it. I know Awesome Guy has only shown his head maybe once up there this game, but as, having that stable rock Raikarino in the top lane just allows you to focus on the other lanes as we see some action in the bot lane.
Wow, the Zenith Blade actually connects and follows. We will get a Magnet Storm in return. Bunski low, bot lane party time is low, and here comes Driblet. Can he bring home the kill? The Tristana lives with a sliver of HP, and well, that's going to be trades back and forth. 1 for 1 as the Karthus will fall, and everyone gets involved in the bot lane.
Yeah, mixing it up in the bot lane, like you said. Kina picking up a kill. Driblet unable to really get any of those kills. Would have loved to see 1 or 2 in his pocket, but overall, Karthus giving his life isn't the worst. Gets that kill. Rise gets a kill. 1-0-2. So Team 7 comes out with the 1K gold lead. This dragon doesn't look like it's gonna go down this instant, but Silver Pleb expending the TP. So Raikarino does have that TP advantage now once his comes back up in a short while. So we're gonna see how they look to use that, but it looks like IR is just willing to give this dragon away.
A lot of ultimates down. Magnet Storm not up. Requiem not up. Buster Shot not up in the Solar Flare here soon. And they will, in fact, start it up. Looking to get something for the fact that Silver Pleb has TP'd for this play. They want to make sure that they get away with an objective, and they will get a Mountain Dragon here on this very tanky squad that they have drafted. And even the Realm Warp looking to see if they can maybe find the support. The Solar Flare is beautiful right into the queue, and then the Zenith Blade in bot lane party time. He's able to come away with his first kill of game 3.
This man is not even safe in his own jungle visions. Yoshiko paying for it with his life. Just teetering on the edge of that too much, looking to be annoying in that river, and they just had enough. Team 7 was like, you know what? Give the Realm Warp, send the army, send the navy, said, I want everything on this guy. You got to believe Bunski was making that call and was able to land the Solar Flare onto Yoshiko. And Random Capital, just doing a fantastic job in this mid lane. 1-0-3, farming really well, has the Leandries up as well, as just looking to bully Driblet out. And Driblet not having the same star-studded performance that he did in game 1 or game 2. So apologies. And we're going to see how that affects his impact on these team fights. I haven't really seen him get a massive Hemo Plague onto the backline or anything, so if he picks up a kill or 2, we'll see what happens, how the tides will change. But Raikarino is still stable in that top lane, has the Mythic for himself, and see if he can impact the map with this TP advantage.
Blue buff might just be given over towards Driblet. Doesn't have a mana pool, but would maybe like to have the cooldown, I suppose, here for himself, as that does come through. He's a little bit behind, and look at this tower. I mean, it's actually almost about to go down. All this pressure that has come through here from Awesome Guy has not resulted in too much success here for Driblet, and that is a first tower. Forced play coming out, and well, Random Capitals eats the Hemo Plague, gets himself the Phase Rush proc, and simply just runs away as he is sitting on quite a bit of gold now and CSing extremely well.
Yeah, he's got to be sitting on a pretty penny. Gonna come back probably with the upgraded boots, and I'm trying to finish his Archangels as... Oh, Bunski's up in the top lane!
Rikerino does get engaged on, but no follow-up just yet. 4 players up here for the side of Team 7. The Rift Herald should be collected, unless we'll see Awesome Guy make an appearance. He does come through with a power ball, but now regrets that decision, as it's going to be a speed run, and, well, the best of it going the way of Awesome Guy as he cuts the corner, walks himself out, and will get to safety.
I thought we were watching League of Legends, not the new Fast and Furious movie, Visions. Oh, executed by the chickens. I don't know what he was doing there. Unfortunate by a Driblet. Chickens 1, Driblet 0, it looks like.
Does appear that way. And now, oh, that's an engage, actually stopping the rocket jump, and oh, beautiful engage. That's gonna hurt, as that's the Tristana losing out on quite a bit, but can they get themselves out? As that's the Realm Warp that comes on through. The Powerball could maybe stop Rise from coming in, and it does, but Awesome Guy loses his life because of it. Here comes the Karthus. Numbers advantage still very much existing the way of the side of IRs. They'll make their way in, and, well, that's going to be Yoshiko. Just with the execute, can we get a second execute? Kina trying, but there's the root. And Rise, he collects another one for kill number 3.
Yeah, and in the middle of all that, Raikkonen got his TP canceled by Silverpearl. A lot of canceled TPs in this series. Guys, get to safety. Get into a bush or something before you start TPing. Don't just TP in the man's face. That's so disrespectful. You're going to get canceled. These guys aren't that bad. As Raikkonen is looking to trade onto Silverpearl once again. Looking for another solo kill here.
He's fighting. It's the wet noodle fight back and forth. And, well, it's also the Sunflower coming in pretty handy there. Rikerino able to get away with the cannon that otherwise maybe did not go his way. There is a tower, and, well, here's a fight. Able to get the passive off, but taken very low. Here comes the call. The Forge God, Silver Pleb, nothing left in the tank. Auto comes in. The flash comes out. Rikerino comes in again, but it's still gonna cost him his life as well, as it's 1-for-1s in the top lane.
It looked like Silverplug was about to turn that with his decimating smash, but was just got hit by that hammer. But little Sejong picking that up, not the worst pickup for him. I would give my life to give my Karthus a kill, I think, in this situation. You know, so much AP damage coming out on the side of Team 7. This Rammus is, I wouldn't say virtually useless, but man, if you're a Rammus and you're having to prioritize MR over armor, you're probably feeling really bad over here. But we're going to see how this pick goes. I haven't really seen any of those really cool ultimates coming in where you can Q, Powerball, jump in with his R, so maybe he can look to get a stun or a knock-up onto this backline. But we saw botlane Partytime get punished for one of Bunski's roams, and I want to see Kina and Yoshiko try to punish this Tristana more and more, right? Bunsky, I don't even think I've seen him in botlane the past 5 minutes. This man has just been running around everywhere, looking to see what he can do, clearing vision as Dribble is subjugated to the side lane now.
Jungler or support, we'll never know. We'll never know. But Bunsky, of course, he knows deep inside, as he is 2-0-4. Locking completed. Holding strong. Scrawning Orb is going to be utilized here, so they get the information. A big fight in and around this Ocean Dragon. Just tied 1-1. In air coming through for the side of Ichirat. And a mountain here for the side of Team 7. The power balls charging up. There's the slam right into the back line with the wombo combo. Looking to delete just about everyone as it's a triple on in for Driblet, followed up with the ace. Looking good, but can they go forward? Driblet low, has himself the Q. He does heal right back up, but the Realm Warp will get random capitals out the safety. He'll re-engage, comes through the shutdown, and there it is. That's a beautiful play. Driblet for 4 in the fight, as well as the Dragon for the prize.
0-2 to 4-2. I think I've seen this time before, Visions. This guy, Driblet, now has 4 kills. This Vlad is ramping up. He's got a lot of money in his pocket, sitting on about 3,000 gold on this next back. He's so rich right now, still behind random capitals in the gold, about 1,000 gold, but that's got to be feeling really good if you're on the side of IR. That wombo combo was just devastating, wasn't it, Vision? The Magnet Storm, the Rammus, the Hero Plague. It was just so devastating for Team 7. They weren't able to get out of anything.
And this is what we framed up in the draft. We were looking at these team compositions and comparing the two. We're saying, listen, if there is at any moment that we see Yoshiko get in towards the back line, awesome guy get in towards the back line, there is so much follow-up CC and damage that comes along with this comp. And you can just see it in that exact moment. When it lands, it hits. And when it hits, you'll win the fight straight up. And that carry's coming alive with quite a bit of kills. You have your Vladimir, who is going to be able to now work towards that 2-item power spike. So there is a lot going here for the side of this composition that we framed up here. Ichirat in a good position, but the goal lead still just about even. 400 gold separating the two. So things still very possible as maybe an engage comes through. Megastorm is invested. We'll be able to land the knockup as well. Silver Pleb trying to use the ultimate, but it's not looking great. So there's the kill, but a trade could end up going over. Random Capitals exhausted and stunned up, but won't be taken down. Here's the killer instinct. Kina able to come away with a double, but the ignite is on and the trade is in. A 2-for-1 as they press under the tower. Might just be a third. The Hemo Plague does so much damage, and Driblet goes unstoppable.
Yeah, 5 and 2 now. Just a beautiful fight from IR, getting this island caught out. Silver Pleb being a bit of a weak point for Team 7. 0-5 now as they turn their attention towards this Baron. Karthus is still up, doesn't have the flash, but if I'm Team 7, I just think I'd give my lives here, right? I mean, Karthus has the Requiem. They're kind of low. If they can back off on Rammus and Rel here. Rammus not too tanky. He doesn't have a lot of HP. Only has the Chem tank. He's losing his health. You gotta believe that they're gonna try to contest this, and they are. TPs are coming out. 2,000 health on the Baron. Visions. What's happening?
Oh, it's so low, but it is secured. But will they get themselves out? The support will not. Yoshiko is down. The Realm Orb comes in, and well, hello. Awesome guy will be locked up, and there's the double in towards the back line. It's going to be the Blast Clone over the wall, and well, looks like we might just have a third player down here for the side of IR. 5 members strong, nothing you can do. Another kill will go over.
3 in the death chamber for IR. Driblet does come out, and Kina doesn't come out with the Baron, so they can still look for a 1-4 split here, which is very important. I don't know if anybody can necessarily match Driblet other than Random Capital, so we're going to see what happens here as they got to push down the mid lane with the Baron-empowered minions. Yeah, I want to see a 1-4 split from Ichirat's. Put Vladimir in the top or bot lane. He has the TP up. Get Raikkonen, Rel, and all of these guys, these beefy boys with the Kaisen. Just give her a front line to push these turrets down. Very good play on the side of Team 7 to be able to deny these Barons. Only down about 1k gold now, but taking the Baron off the map is very important. Just on the side, just in the sense of taking off the map, taking objective. So even if you do get caught out, it's not as devastating as the pings are coming out for the Dragon. It looks like Team 7 has the inside track. Is going to be resetting for her rewards, and I think this game is going to go into a little bit of a lull state until this next Dragon visions.
I think that could be the case for us. Maybe it's a couple towers going down, but other than that, maybe not a whole lot of fighting. Wanting to save a lot of those ultimates for what is going to be a very important Ocean Dragon. Already up by 1. Will be the side of Ichirat. Silver Pleb with no TP after this tower, I imagine, will either look for a reset and make his way towards the Dragon, or will simply walk all the way down so that he can be there in front of his Tristana. We take a look at the Rise, though, and, well, getting very close towards that third item. That Void Staff going to be pretty important for shredding through the Rammus, the Ornn, as well as this Rel. So coming away with that item going to be a factor, but won't have it before this fight. And now the dance starts to commence.
Yeah, the tango, the Dragon Tango visions, as I like to call it. They're going to be dancing back and forth, feeling each other out. But I think if IR is allowed to dictate when the engage happens, I think we saw like that previous Dragon fight, they can just combo everything so quickly. And Team 7 doesn't have any time to react. So you have to believe that they're going to try to pick somebody out with this Leona, with this Solar, and Team 7 needs to take this fight on their own terms. They can't let IR run into them. I think that's just not the plan here. I don't care if you have the Karthus, if you have the Realm Warp and everything, you have to start this fight on your own.
Looking for some poke back and forth here between both squads. Everyone here as 5, and there's the unstoppable onslaught. Going to be blocked up here from Yoshiko. Yoshiko goes in with the Gravistorm, able to find a knockup. That should be the jungler down, and it is. That's going to be Raiko, able to come away with a kill. Now following up with the damage. That's the Requiem looking for the pop, but it's already a double collected here for the 80 carry, but no one left to stand. The Kaisa forced out of the fight, and this one goes the way of Team 7.
Yeah, Team 7 going 3 for 4, but Kai'Sa's still up. They're just going to get this dragon here, it looks like. Kai'Sa getting alive, going 6-3 and 5 right now, picking up, I believe, with the killer 2. But you just saw the power of that Karthus, Requiem, the Leandries, the Void Staff. I mean, it is just so much damage. If they Realm Warp out of there, no, Leona doesn't take it. Doesn't take the Express Pass over there. Picks up the blue for Random Capital. And Random Capital has just been showing up on these fights. Devastating on the rise. 8, 2, and 7, just doing so much damage.
And that Void Staff now likely will come through on that reset because it's not going to cost him a whole lot. I believe just 600 with both components coming in there here for himself. So yeah, you are in a very advantageous position, winning that fight. Also making sure that that second ocean does not go over to Ichirat, putting yourself in a very important spot so that the game doesn't come down to soul point going in towards that next dragon here. So fighting with everything they got, the composition coming online, the rise in the Tristana slowly but surely getting towards the final form here for themselves. As now with the dragon gone, this is going to be the Baron coming up in about 2 minutes. So already some early prep. Yoshiko looking to set up the vision line and get some of that information if they look to move in.
Yeah, and these fights that are going away on the side of T7, it's just the scaling coming in, right? The Karthus, the Rise, the Tristana, they're all getting their item power spikes, 2, 3 items, while all you have on the side of IR, you just have a double damage threat. And the issue with that is if you're not funneling farm into either of these guys, if you're not getting the kills onto them, they're not going to be able to dish out a lot of the DPS, and they're just going to lose that damage. Or Raikkonen doing so good in his lane, beating Silverpleb, but just Silverpleb being that tank, being that zombie scion that he needs to be, just being a nuisance, right? In these team fights is just enough for Karthus, Rise, and Tristana get that damage down. So we're going to see how they navigate these fights. I believe that Dribble Lift should buy a Zanya soon, has the Banshees, has the Cosmic Drive. It's going to be a little bit harder to kill, but ornaments aren't coming out. Ornaments are coming out now for the side of IR. So maybe some hidden gold in this. No, the gold is even, but it's even, but it's not, right?
I hear that. I mean, yeah, just because of where the gold is, I think it's the big factor. You have 5 kills on towards the Ornn, towards the top lane. Maybe not where you want all the kills to go, but does make him at least a little bit beefier for you as you set up for these fights. And well, we're going to see a lot of priority right now for Team 7 as they look to move in here pretty swiftly. No real contest. Or as far as the vision, instead of played over the wall, would have just popped out on towards the Banshees. But here's the Hemo Plague. Driblet forcing a play. There is the Zanyas, but here is the Rammus. The Powerball's in, and that's a shutdown. 850 gold collected, as well as a second Silver Pleb. Way too deep with the TP, and that is a 2-for-0, and maybe even the Baron on the table.
Another Baron going to the side of IR, and it doesn't look like they're going to get punished on this one. I don't know how much damage Karthus and Tristana and Leona can do. Random Capital's throwing his life away, seeing if he can take that duel into the top lane. But Karthus is up. He does have the flash. No, he's not going to get it. He's going to be late. Oh, okay.
Okay, it looked maybe a little too close for comfort, but in the end, the smite is secured. Awesome Guy brings it home. The Requiem comes out just to pat the damage stats. Doesn't really do anything other than make them a little bit low. Still have a lot of timers here down, so this likely will be the tier 2 in towards the mid lane.
Yeah, and maybe they'll head for this inhib. I feel like they have to reset. Life bars are a bit low. I like what Lil Sejong did. I mean, getting that damage off is just gonna dissuade them from pushing into the full life bars of Team 7. And Dragon's coming up at 1:30. You have to believe that IR is gonna reset, buy a bunch of their items that they can, and look towards this drag. But Team 7 is gonna have the first go at this Dragon Vision, so maybe they can use it to deny. As Driblet gets his TP canceled.
Driblet, he mis-autoed. He actually hit the Scrawning Orb and then missed on towards the Blast Cone.
Dead, right?
Oh, Driblet's got to be dead. I mean, maybe he finds one if he's able to play it well, but at the same time, not going to be easy. Level 16 is going to be able to go in for the flash, and I think that's a dead Tristana. Does Driblet make it out, though, as well? The shield is there, so bot lane party time is alive, and now it's a 2-4-0 in favor of Team 7, catching out the mid laner and punishing hard.
And beautiful rocket from Bunsky. That actually saved Tristana's life. That decaying shield just in time to dissuade the Hemoplague damage. And now, are they going to go for this dragon? They might go for it. Karthus Requiem is down. Realm Warp is down. Solar Flare is down. No, they're just going to... Oh, okay. Okay.
Bit of an engage. Yoshikoko's back in. This is very greedy on his half. And now he's taken low, below half health, has to flash the Zenith Blade this time around, or else it was his demise. So he will have to fall back, and the call has to be made to just simply back away and give this one over. But there's still a couple players posturing like they want to try and play for some kind of a miracle steal.
Dribble's TP is up, and the drag. Oh, they just take it way too quick. Whew. Never mind. Scratch that. Everybody erase what I was saying from your brains. Dribble's TP is up. That is it. He TP's in to the top lane, unable to get that dragon. And now it's soul point for Team 7. You have to imagine, if they get this Ocean Soul, it's just going to be that much more harder for this dual damage composition on IR to do anything, right? I mean, if you don't have a lot of damage sources, you can't really burst these Ocean Soul guys out. You want to have more than 2, right? So we're going to see if this next dragon comes in the way of Team 7. It just feels like they've been trading Baron for dragon, right? IR getting 2 Baron, Team 7 getting the last 3 dragons. Oh,
Kina very, very aggressive, and that's going to cost him a lot of his HP. The Solar Flare doesn't exactly land, but there is the Scion to bring home the kill. The first one's down. The Requiem finds the damage, but there's the knockup. Criano able to go in towards the back line here, but he's slow and not tanky enough to soak up all 5. This fight might not be done just yet. Random Capital goes in, but it costs him a flash. Still alive, kiting this one out. The slam doesn't connect, and Random Capitals with the outplay, carrying this one with everything he's got, comes away with a massive team fight.
That scroll is not the only thing on Random's Capital's back, Visions. That's his whole team there carrying these fights like you mentioned. 11, 3, and 8 doing a phenomenal job baiting out cooldowns, using the Realm Warp aggressively is what you really like to see. And I think, you know, Random Capitals and Bunski have just been playing phenomenal these team fights, you know, clawing their team back into this game. The gold is almost even now out with a slight gold lead, and it is just mid laner versus mid laner, Driblet versus Random Capital. This is the matchup that we're looking. We see how much damage these guys can do, and both of them just so scary on these AP damage threats, right? 4 items onto the Rise, 3.5 onto the Vlad with an ornament. So you got to believe that these guys are going to be the carries for both of their teams.
The first 2 games, pretty one-sided. The third game is anyone's game. Just about 500 gold separating the 2 squads. We've had Barons go over, Dragons go over, and we are getting late in towards this game number 3. A full tempo reset will come through here for the side of Team 7 as they try to come out on towards the map together. We look at the items, 4.5 right now for Random Capitals. I mean, it doesn't get much better than this. When you're Rise level 17, 4.5 items, you are going to do so much damage in these team fights.
Yeah, has the, you know, almost is going to go towards that Rabadon's Death Cap. It has to look like he's going to do that. And he's going to get so much more AP. He's going to build towards that 5th, or I mean 6th item, 5th item damage, but 6th item. And I feel like the tail of this game is just Awesome Guy only got that one really good engage with the Magnet Storm, but it feels like Team 7 has been playing around it so well as the Realm War comes out, and you got to believe Raikkonen gone.
It looks like it. He's got an R. He's tanky. He's going to try to buy some time. Does actually come through with the flash. Ramus close and nearby with the Predator. Criano is going to get engaged on now, soaking up what he can, but his teammates are not close by, so he will be left for death, as it's even the Caddy minion bringing home the kill, and that is a big player to lose here for your team comp if you are Ichirat.
Yeah, and an interesting build coming out from this Tristana has the Kraken Slayer, Stormraiser, or Hex Drinker, or Executioner. So very puzzle piece build, but I mean, I don't, you know, if I'm in her position, maybe she just wants to survive, get that damage off as Silver Pleb. They're going to be trading top laners, it looks like, but Baron for top, I'll take it. Oh no, he's out of there.
Another race for us, and this time around, it is going to be Silver Pleb. He's able to get himself out. Meanwhile, they are going to shred this Nash. I mean, they do it in less than 10 seconds, and there is no way to contest it. So there is the Baron. This time going the way of Team 7 as we're about 35 minutes in the game. More power spikes come on through, and they are in the best position they've ever been in to have a chance to win this game and close it out.
Yeah, and this Dragon's coming up. Soul Point for Team 7. They did have to reset, so I think this is the first time that Aya is going to have the vision control for this Dragon in the past like 5 Dragons, I believe. They were always kind of late to him, but we're going to see what they can do with this vision. I mean, Team 7 is just so strong. I feel like they can just walk in, pretty much not necessarily uncontested, but they can just walk in clear vision with impunity here.
They are trying to set up a bit of a death rush, but no one falls for the trap. Now, however, they step up a little bit, and now just going to back away. Powerball comes through. They're pushing down mid. They realize they have to force, and this could be a catch-on towards the jungler, running towards his team. The taunt is in, and there is Kina, comes through with the damage. So the first one down, but it is going to cost them the base. The Requiem also going to do quite a bit of damage, but they instead realm warp right in towards the base, looking for the win. Driblet is low. He has a perfect pull, but the Magnus Storm able to find a couple. Random capitals into the stasis. Can they find them? Yes, they can. There is the shutdown. There is the team fight, and the collapse will slowly but surely come through as Vladimir has his way. The power ball to lock down the support. And there you have it, 35 minutes. The ace is in. Slowly but surely it will come through, and they can look for the dragon.
They look for the dragon. They may look for the inhibitor turret here as Team 7 kind of throws the game here. They have the dragon, but they realm warp in. They use all their abilities, unable to kill the Vladimir and the Kaisa.
That was one heck of a team fight and one heck of a bold call. Random Capitals realm warping in towards the base, thinking they have the damage, but they don't. A beautiful play out of Driblet, honestly. Staying alive, doing all the damage he possibly can to come out with that one. And that means that we are tied in Dragons, 3-3, evening the odds up for Oceans, and there is no longer a Baron available for anyone on the side of Team 7. Right now, Shibby, we got ourselves a banger game number 3. We are going late, and this game still not going to be done here for quite a bit.
Yeah, back and forth. The tug of war goes from Team 7 and IR, and it feels like when one team makes a good play, the other team just responds back with such a beautiful play and a bit of a throw.
We'll see Bunsky start to clear out just a little bit of vision as far as he can, but there's no objectives to play for a few minutes here. So this is really those key moments when you're talking about the macro, the ability to set up and not get picked on towards the side lane while still having good wave management in towards those side lanes. It will just be a bit of a group up right now for the side of Itchy Rat, trying to stay together, looking for picks. And we talked about this comp having the ability just to turn on any given moment, look for the engage, look for the fights. But everything just going to be about getting towards those final couple items if you can before the big fight here at the Baron or the last Soul Dragon.
Yeah, and Rise really needs to complete his death cap here. Sitting on a lot of gold is on that item break point, but we're going to see the engage possibly come out from IR. It looks like they want to end the game here. Get the inhibitor. This fight determines it all, Visions.
There is the knockup. They go in towards the back line. Tristana is down, looking for the Rise. What can he do? Random Capitals is down as well. There is the double. There is the triple. The Requiem trying to salvage the fight. The shutdown is there for 2. Triple fall, and it's just the tanks. Tanks versus tanks. The inhibitor will fall, but the game will not end.
And Driblet doing a bit of a misplay, tanking those turret up, not respecting the Karthus damage, and like you mentioned, a tank and a support versus a tank and support. The wet noodles are out, Visions, and they are firm. Al dente they are, I promise you, they're going for these turrets. They're going for all of the base of Team 7.
What a game on our hands. Closing in on 40 minutes, and an inhibitor finally going down. As it looks like it might just be the tier 2 as well, in towards the bot lane. The tanks will hold true for the side of Itchy Rat, but now they need to back away. Respawns are coming up. The Baron very, very soon will be on the table in just over a minute, and that's where our focus will go to next.
Everybody take a deep breath on both Team 7 and IR. Step back, breathe, meditate. That fight was not the cleanest from either of you guys. Regroup. Figure out where your target focus is. Rise has his Rabadons now. Karthus has the Rabadons. These are full item AP carries, Visions. And looking on the side of Vladimir, he still doesn't have the Void Staff here. So we're going to see this fight break out. And this has to be it, right? With massive death timers coming in. Any 8s, anything that comes out. If one of these carries lives, it's got to be the end.
I think my voice is screaming this has to be it, because we're going to find out whether or not it will be the last fight. But the way these fights have gone, I mean, the Requiem has kind of played the difference in cleaning things up at the end of it. And now maybe it's a death brush. Does it come down to a death brush? Yoshiko will walk on through. The scrying grip comes out, forces them to walk through the jungle. Won't commit for a fight just yet. The Baron now is going to be on the table in 10 seconds. The vision control slowly being taken away for the side of Ichirat as they're trying to bully their opponents out. Everyone grouped together on both squads, just waiting for the engage.
How crazy would it be if Rise goes for this Realm Warp into the base? Oh no, the Ram is charging in!
Oh, there is the slam in towards the back line, and Random Capitals is down. What can you salvage? What can you do? There's the trade. Kina able to grab himself Bunsky, and well, everybody falls. The Requiem drops, but it only finds one, and it is not enough. Ichirat, they collapse. They come together, and game number 3 will be theirs.
The Slam Jam coming in for Awesome, guys. Didn't have the greatest early game performance, but comes in clutch when you need it. Getting that engage onto the Rise was so beautiful, blowing him up. Oh man, you gotta feel bad for Team 7, but Ichirats takes game 3, goes 3-4. Team 7 going 2-5, and what a banger of a series.
What a banger. Going the distance, a 41-minute game when it comes down to it. At Soul Point, third Baron, everything in between. It was just an absolute beauty to cast over. I mean, doesn't get much better than that, should be, when you're coming down to some of these season games, fighting for what could be massive implications for as far as playoffs. And with both of these teams now being tied at 2-4, it is Ichirat that hold the head-to-head, come out with a couple games in a row, and slowly but surely move themselves up that standing.
Yeah, and forget LPL, forget LCK. Don't give me all that. Give me Open Dominate, baby. That was a banger of a series. I loved it. It was so good. Visions, I mean, we saw immaculate play from Ichirat and Team 7, and I just think, Ichirat was just able to have, like we said, the easier to execute composition, right? They were able to get their CC, layer it onto the Rise and the Tristana, and was just able to wipe the team out. Vladimir getting to a point where he became unstoppable. So if you guys see that Victor, it's actually a Vladimir. If you guys saw the game, that's what he was able to do. But Visions, if you're Team 7, I mean, how do you recover? Where do you go from here? Do you look at draft? Do you look at the mistakes? I mean, do you just move on to next week? I mean, what happens?
I think you definitely go back, you review, you just simply look at some of the mistakes that you made. And I think that, things did get a little bit sloppy when they were trying to set up for these fights, and they were no longer, able to set them up like they were doing at the beginning of the game. The fights were being engaged on towards them. And I think it's just a couple of key situations where if Random Capitals, isn't getting locked down with all that CC, and he's able to output the damage that he has, because he is absolutely full build Rise, and he will shred through anyone that groups up, with that EQ combination. It was just never allowed. They just collapsed on him. So I think at the end of the day, you're looking at what was really good execution here for the side of Ichirat to make sure that they were, focusing the carries that are going to be enabled the most. And when you do that, you take down Random Capitals. I mean, you're basically going to win the fight, because this Tristana doesn't have the idea build, isn't online, and just isn't going to be able to carry out those fights.
Yeah, and I think that's really the important thing here, is that Tristana build was a bit of a head scratcher, right?
Sure. It did feel like, there was times where it just really wasn't online, and you're expecting that Tristana to get there. So it's unfortunate. They're going to have to go back to the drawing board and look to fix things up going forward, but still an absolute banger. Props to both of these squads putting on a show here for us and giving us the best of what Open Dominate has to offer here on Risen. But that is going to do it for us. Had a great time casting with you, Shivy, but unfortunately it comes to an end for tonight. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you guys on the next one.